that right there. Ouch, why aren't we pumping GM's tires all year?
But GM's always better.
GM's, yeah, a little bit better, yeah, 50 to 75. So they're up about 45% this year as opposed to Ford's 35. But yeah, there we go. Now $1.25 right there, the face slapper on Tesla. Look, our show was decent. We're going to have a banger of a show coming up in just a couple seconds, man, because you have my guy Obi over here ready to go. You have Joe ready to go. I'm going to the gym. Neil will be here. Get ready for his always informative Neil's lesson of the day at noon.
Jerk thick and fuel, too.
So get ready
Nvidia just broke VWAP
for that. And the longs are printing, baby. So another successful day. Hopefully you guys have a good one as well. That's Neil. I'm Sean. That's Adara. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys at 2 p.m. Ciao till then. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? And happy Thanksgiving Eve to all our fellow Americans. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. Oh man, a lot going on. Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we going up and around? It seems to be the case. But first and foremost, you know who it is. It's your boy. And next to me is Obi, the Mr. Whisperer himself. All right, Obi, let's get into some of this roll call on Thanksgiving Eve. Guys, don't watch Stranger Things all in one go. You gotta spread it out. You got Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
It'd be very strange, even though I might do so myself. But anyways, aside from that, who do we got in the chat today? You know who it is. It's Mike P. DeRider saying, oh boy, what's going on, everybody? Trip Q, Vancouver, Sidowski, what's going on? Electric, Passions, Christopher Ocean, Ichiro, Darwin, MIAX. There's nothing wrong with binging, but there's more. Fabian asked me what's wrong with binging. But there's more productive things that we can do, Fabian, and that's what we want to most definitely. All right, who else? We got Ryan O'Day, the real Gary Oker. What's up, my friend? Farm Trader. One more. Travman says, be productive, and I couldn't agree any more. Now, if we want to speak about productivity now, Obi, let's see what we got going on for today's session. Now, I told you guys, I said, hey, Katina, man, we have the same entry there on Tesla, which happened to work out relatively well for us. Face slapper is right. So we take that first entry, guys, at $17.95. We take a 10-cent hit on that. That's all right. I messaged in the chat. I said, guys, sit on your hands, wait for those precision entries, and then you can get involved momentarily after that. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. Now, for my second entry here, guys, is it as accurate as it possibly could be? Absolutely not. Why is that? Because I'm buying at the top of the range. You want to post, once you have that floor established, you're consolidating, you want to post at the lower end of the range. Why? Because it's going to drastically improve your risk to reward ratio. If it cracks with some velocity and you see the momentum start to pick up to the downside, you can most definitely get out significantly faster. But with this, you're not proven wrong until about 20 cents lower than the current price. But we sit through this, that worked out, we get that move back into the volume weighted average price, we take the majority of it out, and I got stopped out at remaining like 10, 15%. Nothing larger than that, guys. But what I have just been churning in all day is, you guessed it, that's correct. And we're currently sitting in the position right now. So you guys can see it. I'll take a little bit off, nothing substantial, because I do believe that we can head towards the high of the day in Bitcoin. I just want you guys to be able to see the position. There it goes, and a nice additional pop. But let's break it down, and it's gonna go to what I was leading towards a couple moments ago. Was improving your risk to reward ratio. So on this initial entry, I go in full size right off the get. I'm like, all right, I'm seeing some signals, which I like. Let's get involved full size. Boom, I only take about 20% off, but what is our job? We are risk managers. It comes back against me after hitting approximately a 3 or 4 to, I think it was like a 2 or 3 to 1. At that point, I get out break even. I'm patient. I'm like, you know what, you dirty dog, you IBIT. I know you're gonna go again after that aggressive pullback and head towards that high. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. So I got involved with a little bit more. Go in full size once again. This time I only piece out 45%. and it stops me out, break even once again. Slightly frustrating, but we're not wrong on the name just yet. We have 2 profitable trades, so I'm gonna continuously try this thesis until proven wrong. Okay, so we sit on our hands, we let that selling cool off, we get back in, comes back against me after hitting an additional 2 to 1. I'm like, oh, what the helly? Get out, break even. Try it one more time, hit a 2 to 1, comes back against me. What the hell? One more time, we get out, break even. 4th time at this time, working better. I take a substantial amount out, and then I get only 30% stop out right there. And then sure enough, right at 49.35. So I have 4 entries around the exact same price. And sure enough, this one is finally starting to work for us, Obi. So I've taken approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades, and I've only been wrong on 1 of them. Going 7 for 8 this morning, Obi. We're going to take a little bit more off here on IBIT as we continue to climb a little bit higher.
Great stuff there. It's always great when you have days that have really high hit rates. Like everything's going as planned, and yeah, a little bit of the same over here. Came in a little rushed here, man. Blue Ocean's been absolutely wild. I was up till like 1:30 last night, and I woke up really late as well. Great opportunities in the overnight market, and we're seeing some of that carry over here into the opening session here as well. So I only took 2 trades today, Joe, and both were reversions. Surprise, surprise. One of them was on Hood, and Hood was pretty good on the back through 125, right into VWAP right here, boom, boom. A little choppy on the first one, it stops me out, and then it comes right in. Sure, I didn't get the best prices on the second time around, but definitely much better conviction, so definitely sizing a lot more for that breakdown of that consolidation right into VWAP. But then take a look at that. Reversion of the reversion, as Hood is now coming right back up to 126s, back to high a day. The next one was Google. Google looking pretty weak in the morning session, fading off of that 330 level. Off of the open, I see the bid coming in. I'm like, all right, 322s, 324s, bit of an interesting area yesterday. I was very involved with this name, as you guys saw during the midday session. Comes into similar areas, supply steps right back in, and we get a beautiful reversion from 324s all the way down to 320s. Did not reload on the VWAP continuation, but that was really nice as well. Yeah, where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for now. It seems like Hood breakout might be something as well. But yeah,
man,
2 for 2, man. Nothing too bad. But the day is not done. I didn't hear any bells just yet. And again, I'm more than willing to lose on some positions until they come into fruition. But where are those trades is the question I'm asking. There goes the TQs through the highs. Absolute strength here for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green 15-minute bars. So continuation, I like it. Let me know what you guys are trading this morning. I know there was a few earnings names that are doing pretty well. I was looking at PD. That was on the watch list this morning. Look at PD. Beautiful continuation to the downside. 1330s, breakdown of those pre-market lows, $13 breakdown. It's trading at 1160s right now. So maybe a low flyer, maybe not something that's on people's radar, but definitely doing the right kind of relative volume, over 800 to 900 times in the pre-market, and then over 40 times coming in the intraday. Currently traded about 7 million shares, average volume about 2 million. So definitely very much in play is PD. And then another name, a bit of a continuation, day 2 continuation. I don't know if you've been watching this one. Talk about easy money trades. Ooh. KSS. Man, I said this yesterday. I should have definitely been watching this one as well. Continuation right off of the open. Prior day, after hours, and pre-market high breakout gives us that beautiful continuation, and it's still holding in the upper quartile, about above $24 here. So that's kind of what I'm watching. What else was there? There was one more. There's one more name that I am remembering. I know ANF from yesterday. Okay, we're getting that continuation as well. But one more ER name that I was watching, not coming to mind right now. But that's basically what I had on watch this morning. Some of the stuff worked out. Some of the stuff not as good. Oh yeah, Dell. Dell was the other one. Dell from the pre-market action, very choppy in the after hours as well, and as well as the pre-market. Guess what? Quadunk off of the open, nice little flush into pre-market lows. Failure to follow through pre-market lows, nice, that comes in pretty well. 128 hold, and now reversion back to the highs with a very strong market that's doing very much the same. So lots of opportunity here. Let me know what you guys are trading so we can take a look at some of those names as well. But that's all I really have going on right now.
That's all right, man. 2 for 2 is good. We'll take that all day.
That's what I like, right? So you see me normally, I don't take many positions, but the positions that I do take, I am very focused on.
Yeah, and rightfully so, man. I think that's a really key point.
Quality over quantity, that's my biggest thing.
Oh, all day, man. That's my style as well, too. Boom, Assassino, we got a fill right there at 49.60s on IBIT, guys. Still sitting on approximately 75% of the 85, sorry, of this position. I'm not as heavy as I was in the earlier positions, approximately only 30% of what I put on in the first 5 entries, which is okay. And then sure enough, it's kind of funny how that works, right? The one where you put on the least amount of size tends to work the best. But anyways, aside from that, man, we're not going to complain whatsoever. And there it is, another cooking up here in IBIT. So one thing that I did see is someone in the chat said, man, I have a big time issue with letting my losers go. Well, you know what? I don't know where you stand in your journey, but it was something that I ran into. I don't actually, you know what? Never had a major issue, full disclosure, I never had a major issue with that. Obviously, you run into a couple of scenarios where you do hold on to something that you're not supposed to, IBIT. But at the end of the day, what I actually had, and I don't know what platform you're using, is that I had something called the calculated fixed wrist hotkey. So what it does essentially is that wherever you are on your chart, what you do is you double click it. Not every platform has this feature, but what you do is you double click where you want your stop and how much you're gonna actually risk on the trade. So what happens is, so say I wanted my stop here at 49.27, I'm willing to risk 20 bucks. It's gonna calculate from my stop to where the current price is, how many shares I'm gonna have, but it implements your stop loss for you so you don't have to put it in yourself. You just double click on the chart and it puts it in for you, calculates the amount of shares, and you can modify your risk to reward. So it'll have your profit taker out there as well, whether it be you want it at a 3-to-1 or a 2-to-1. And for years and years and years, I used this tool, and that helped me get out of positions when I was supposed to and when I don't necessarily use hard stops all the time. But I built that mental catalyst of getting out when I was supposed to from an intraday standpoint. Now you will have your slip ups here and there. There's no questioning that. But the more systematic you can stay, the better off you are. And there goes Bitcoin continuing to climb higher, guys. This is a positive sign. But that hotkey is literally a maker of a make or break, in my opinion, in the earlier stages of trading. And there goes Bitcoin, guys. It's just continuing to climb higher and higher. So if your platform allows you to set up a hotkey like that, use it 13,000%. There's no questioning it. Use it. Take advantage of the kind of the tools that are provided for you. So it's a calculated fixed. It's called the calculated fixed wrist hotkey, and it's personally used on. I don't know if any traders use this platform. It's Dash Trader Pro. So if you have that, you can DM me on the side on X. I have the scripts and everything still, and I'll more than happily give that to you. And it's literally a changer of worlds. But aside from that, OB, IBIT, chefing up on the lows, 4 entries at the exact same price, and just being patient, allowing those to start to work for us. Tesla.
I like that, man.
Pardon me?
I like that. That's one out of Jose's playbook, because where he likes a certain price, he's just like boom, boom,
keep hammering.
Time somewhat, time irrelevant, but definitely on the right side. I like that. I like that method of entry is what I'm saying here. 126 is pulling back here on Hood right now, so maybe some supply. This was some supply in the morning session. Maybe more of the same as of right now. But guess what? I saw you in the chat. I forget who it was specifically because it's gone way too far, but Palantir was pointed out. So that came in all the way, almost about a 50%, well, over a 50% reversion here, almost 60, 70% roughly. But 167 is it's trading at right now. I don't have VWAP on here because I have that same EMA from last time. But yeah, good watch. Maybe coming into some of these levels. Let's see if we can sustain this. Okay, we got a super chat. All right, thank you very much. Obi in the house, yes, welcome, thank you. A huge shout out to my guy Joe. Go get some lunch on me, fam. Hood short here, or do we keep pumping to the high side? Yeah, on Hood, yeah, maybe, I don't know, fam. Let's take a quick look at Hood. Yeah, so the idea is like, yeah, maybe if you're looking for more of the same, I think it's valid to potentially get involved here, but something right here to note is this kind of a trend that's somewhat dominant right now. It's holding it pretty well. Multiple tests of this. So if we can crack below this, I like it. Sure, if you're getting involved just in and around here, risking there, keeping it tight, I like that as well. But yeah, potentially, maybe. But the thing is, we're grinding all the way back up. Nice, slow, steady grind, while the market is also attempting to push its highs. So maybe it's an okay idea. It definitely would cross my mind, but would I be taking it as of right now? I don't know. I think I need this market to show me a little bit more.
Dude, look at Bitcoin go, man.
What is Bitcoin doing?
Oh man, we're almost heading into 50. Assassino, there it is. Where's the Katina man when you need him? At the end of the day, no, it's just be like, hey man, a nice move to the top. Money. Yeah, thank you for that there, Obi. But I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries, and we didn't take a loser on it. It doesn't always work like that. But at the end of the day, there it is, a massive breakout in which we're experiencing here in Bitcoin. Well, I mean, I shouldn't call it a breakout considering we're just back towards the high of the day. What's a long, my brother? What a trade? Oh, what a long. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Being much appreciated. I mean, a couple attempts. It's just unfortunate. This is what I was looking for. I wanted to hit 80s on my initial entries when I had full size, and I mentioned that I only had about 30% of the total value, shares in which I was putting on within each one of these positions. But it is what it is. We'll take it this time, and hopefully it continues to grind a little bit higher. A nice recovery in Bitcoin would be absolutely phenomenal. We're not going to complain about that. Sorry to interrupt you there, Obi, but there goes Bitcoin. The volume on the 1 minute time frame isn't picking up how I would like to see. And worst case scenario is if this 5 minute candle closes as an inverted hammer, that could be a potential peak. But if we do by any chance break through that high and head in towards 50, I like our chances. And right when we get back from Obi, we're going to take a look at some of the things on options chains, and then we'll obviously take a look at some of the best and worst performing sectors of the day. What do you got your eyes on, though? Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Mr. B. Davis, we were talking about that. You were talking about Robinhood. Yeah. I'm forever long Robinhood. There's no questioning that. What do you think about it, brother?
No, I like it. Bigger picture, I think it's pretty solid. Pretty good news today. They're partnering with MIAX. Love that gate.
Yeah.
Great rebates. But yeah, interesting stuff. Decent relative volume on the day, and then higher time frame as well, man. You can see here kind of inside this chop zone, bigger picture. But let's see what we do coming into some of these I guess balance areas or reversion to the mean. Kind of the consolidation core is what I'm looking at here on Hood. What's going on, Indira?
The thing I just want to mention here with Hood that I think is certainly worth knowing and being aware of is it's not just Robinhood with this 90% stake in MIAX. They are partnering with Susquehanna to take a combined 90% stake between Robinhood and Susquehanna now. Why is this interesting? Because as I mentioned this morning, Susquehanna is actually an analyst. They do ratings. So I find it very interesting that they're getting involved in a deal that involves not one, but two publicly traded companies. So just some news, food for thought there, I guess ahead of Thanksgiving, food for thought on that Robinhood deal quickly.
Yeah, beautiful. Any form of movement. If we head back up to 150 here in Robinhood, I might just have to, before 150, I might have to add a little bit more. Robinhood's been good, guys. I told you guys, I think it was on Friday or Monday, I bought some more. I bought Meta and I bought some more Robinhood. And I did put in a little bit more size on IBIT in the long-term account, that is, because I told you guys I cut that in half, let it sell off aggressively, and then I bought a little bit more. But I'm still sitting on about half of the total position value in which I had at the start of it, it was just like a year and a half of gains gone, and it was just not a good time. But anyways, aside from that, guys, let's take a look at the options chain and see what IBIT is up here, because I was looking to write a couple more calls, but I don't think that's going to happen today. So considering we're starting to climb a little bit higher, okay, yeah. So I'm thinking worst case scenario. No, okay, on the 1 minute, that's not too bad. We just don't want the 5 minute to close as this. I don't know if it's actually trading like that, but anyways, what I'm getting at here, guys, is at that $50 level, you can see there's a little bit of a supply zone. So if someone wants to absorb this, I think we can take an additional leg higher. And what's that next level going to be potentially be? 51. So 51 might be in the works by the end of the week, which would be phenomenal for Bitcoin and company and for all the IBIT holders as it's continuing to grind a little bit higher. And then here it is, $53 is potential as well too. I talked about the activity, so there it is, on these December 19th expiration cycle, and we're seeing it across the board now on multiple names, whether it be Google. We were talking about some of the corporate yields as well too this morning, and some other names that are just having a lot of activity December 19th, so a lot of levels can come into play with that one, but IBIT looking pretty good. What has Tesla been up to? Man, oh man, I love what... I typed in IBIT. I love what Meta's doing as well. What was I going to say? META, and then we'll take a look at Tesla momentarily. Head over to this cycle over here to see, and there it is, right? Like, so you can see November 28th, activity relatively cool, and then we go 23 days out, and sure enough, you're going to see a substantial more amount of open interest, which I think is extremely important. Now, as for Tesla, guys, keep an eye out on TSLA as we head right back to that 420 level. No supply there, so we could surpass this. If all these contracts are starting to be closed at 420, then sure enough, you want to look for that next supply zone, and I'm not seeing anything until 430. I'm not saying that that's going to be in the works for today, but hey, who knows, by the end of the week, you may get that Magna effect head up into 425, 429, and a little bit of a recovery in the overall market. But yeah, a nice trade on IBIT. It's unfortunate that we didn't take a second stab on TSLL, considering that would have been nice as well. Right here, head back right at the same entry, and the chances of breaking through the volume-weighted average price right here is pretty high at this point, in my opinion. But to note also, data starts collecting here around, I think it's 6 a.m. This data starts collecting at 4 a.m. So there's a slight difference in the volume-weighted average price. But aside from that, man, what is everybody else, Okay, anyways, aside from that, what else is everyone trading? Go Robinhood, go. Typically, when I see some bullish price action in the pre-market, I don't love that, but what it did is it hovered before the open right close to VWAP, and then sure enough, we're starting to head towards that 126 high, which is a pretty good sign. This is what I was looking at. I was like, ooh, and Danielle B and I were like, oh no, we don't like this pre-market pump, and sure enough, you get the open dump momentarily, but steady uptrend, forming these higher lows, which is a positive sign, and anything can happen with the NVDA. This name can go parabolic at any given moment. Nice indecision print off of the lows as well, too. But RGTI on the dip says drop systems. Let's take a look at RGTI. I was trading this, I believe it was on Monday, just from this potential setup right here, and sure enough, we were fortunate enough to be in the trade, and that worked for us relatively well. So maybe you're going to see a little bit of a recovery here in the quantum names, still down 55%. So if you think that's a discount, then by all means, start slow and build into it. But guys, it's honestly, we see it time and time again, just some of these, the hyperscalers, these mega cap names, the $1 trillion boys over here, like you're down at its lowest peak here from peak to trough, 26% in Meta. And we get it, like they had that hefty tax fee, yeah. But that was one-off at the end of the day. Yeah. So if you're down 26%, in my opinion, get your toes wet, right? Just dabble in a little bit, dip your toes in the water and get a little bit of a feel. I will never say, hey, go in full position at once. You obviously want to break things up a little bit. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at Meta. I want to add some more size, still sitting on a bit of cash. So just a couple names that I want to pick up being JPM and some more Meta guys.
Yeah, I think that it comes back to kind of like effective DCAing, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
How I like to do mine, and I know was it Brankles was talking about this as well last year, a year and a half ago, but DCAing on a high VIX, like getting more aggressive with DCA when the VIX is above like 20-30, right? You just be like, okay, you know, maybe you buy every month maybe, but when the VIX is above 20 or 30, maybe you buy a little bit more frequently, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's a good kind of idea. It kind of makes sense here, but the VIX kind of got crushed. We got that reversion back down. I think last I checked, it was not trading. It was below 15s, if I remember correctly.
Already?
Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, man, VIX got pretty crushed there. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me just check, make sure. Right here.
Oh wow.
17. Sorry.
Wow.
17,
Yeah, but I mean,
50,
but look
70.
at that. Look at that move. What was the high there? What was that previous high?
So the previous high was 28.99. This current high is 28.27. So pretty much coming into that same kind of area, and then pulling right back in. Who is calling me at this time?
Who's calling my phone?
Toronto.
Who's calling my phone?
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not Stacy, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this market is up to here. Still continuing to push past that. So yesterday we reverted all the way to 25,000.
Yeah.
Today we're getting that continuation back up through that 25,000, maybe some extension away from it to the upside here as well. And yeah, rightfully so. VIX getting absolutely crushed. It seems nice little reversion. It seems like 320 is holding here on Google as well, Joe. So that those sellers that came in off of the open and were pretty dominant going into the later half of the morning session, maybe potentially continuing to step down here. 320s are going to be interesting. 317s and some change was prior day's lows here on Google, and that came in and clipped it for a nice little bounce. But yesterday we saw it was stuck in about a $2 range, 322s to 318s, roughly just knocking around. And right now, technically, we're still trading in that range. So just waiting, watching. This market is absolute strength. I'm being patient to see where the next reversion is, potentially, if these sellers step in. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back in the past couple of sessions here, Obi, and I think it's really important to note, and I think we've talked about it quite a couple of times. So let's head over to the Nas here. And I mean, on yesterday, that aggressive selling didn't come in until, what time is that? No, it's like 1:35 before it headed towards that low. And I mean, it's the same thing like yesterday was Tuesday. So on Monday, you didn't even get that pullback. But once again, you get a pullback later in the day, and then the aggressive one doesn't happen until 2:30. So on strong days, I think it's, regardless, you obviously want to listen to price because price is king at the end of the day. But when you have those grinding bids, you have to wait until later on in the session, I think, to try to find those shorts from what I've observed over time. So yeah, I mean, I could totally be wrong, and the market is ever so changing as well too. But yeah, guys, this isn't a good sign here on IBIT. It is what it is. Here it is, a nice inverted hammer candle. No volume supporting that. So it's like, what do we do? What do we do? So be patient, sit on your hands. There's multiple reasons. Let's break this down and head into a lower time frame. They don't make it easy on a vampire, says, yeah, I don't think so, my friend. They don't make it easy. That's a vampire, right? So yeah, anyways, let's get right back into it. And what led me to kind of just holding on to a couple of positions here on IBIT, just looking at the volume profile. So I had an entry right here. And then sure enough, we do get stopped out right here. But the reason why I didn't take more profit off is because look at the volume start to stair step down on the 1 minute time frame. So it's kind of diverging from price. And I'm going to be looking at these as kind of anomalies and not genuine moves, because look at the width of this candle and kind of just the price it puts in. That's approximately a 10-cent candle, but look at the volume on that. So there's not much effort, and that's when we fall into the effort and result kind of territory. For those who aren't familiar with that, I'm going to try to look for a solid example here. Okay, so that's all right. But anyways, what I mean by effort and result is the effort within the volume. So if there's a substantial amount of volume, the result within the price action candle should be equal to that. All right, if not more. And then if you see like a really strong candle but lower volume, that can be classified as an anomaly in the VPA world. Does it always work all the time? Absolutely not. That's not the case. But if you can kind of correlate it and build a system, more often than not, it's going to be looking pretty good for you. Now we're starting to head towards some key support levels here. We have a shelf formed at 49.70 with a high right there of around 49.77. So where's our next support level that we can come back into and then maybe get a bounce off it? But if this is going to be a grinding type day, then we want to see this bought back up relatively quickly, all right? So there's Tesla starting to come back in, rejecting the volume weighted average price once again, but we're positioned relatively well here in IBIT to just continue to hold on to it. And that's going to be the narrative. I have no reason to get out unless the volume drastically starts to pick up, or it comes back into my break even, which is approximately 35 cents from here. So we have a little bit of breathing room. A VWAP test, indecision prints around those specific zones, there might be an add opportunity for an additional leg. But those signals of strength in which we've experienced so far today, and there it goes. This is a positive sign in IBIT. But the signals of strength here today say, we might be able to continue. And also, one thing to note, we were just talking about the VIX. But the VIX cooling down, what does that mean? Well, in my opinion, is that there's not that much fear in the market right now, which is good. And when there's no fear, what happens? Stock typically go up, all right? So that's just how I'm looking at some things. Volatility increase, market go down. Volatility decrease, market go up, all right? Damn, Netflix falling. If there's anything specific that you guys want to look at, please let me know. Put it in the chat. There's a lot of things that we can go over. Slimy Jace puts Randy in the chat, which is cool. If an investor had bought Nvidia at March 2020 bottom and DCA $2,000, at the end of the month until today, they would be up 1.7 million. That's the power of compounding. Yeah, absolutely. That's some beautiful stuff. And you know what? Again, those numbers are fantastic, but that's all what-if history, and we don't do what-if history around here. We just want to go with the flow, find the good names, find some good quality, and park your money in that, because I have friends, as of recently, I've been printing up an absolute storm, and I was talking about this stock for quite some time, and it's been trading relatively well. And it's going to mint him a millionaire in a matter of probably within the next year and a half or so. And this is a close buddy of mine. It was actually a friend that I was in Chicago with recently. Okay. Yeah. So he's doing really, really well printing up there. I mean, today he's told me he's already made like 40K or something along those lines. Just some ridiculous numbers. So find the good stocks, put it in there. You got to put your money where your mouth is at the end of the day. Adara, what do you have?
So for crypto, what I'm going to do here is talk a little bit more about that Robinhood story, which I know we've discussed before, and I know is not necessarily directly related to crypto, but I do think it's worth noting in case you guys missed it. So basically, Robinhood, and it's interesting the way here that Miami International, or MIAX, the Miami Exchange, the way they're wording this story is very much focused on Robinhood, though again, Robinhood is purchasing this stake in the MIAX DX with Susquehanna. Long story short, Miami International announcing the sale of their Miami Derivatives Exchange, or MIAX DX, which is, I guess, their wholly owned subsidiary. They're going to sell 90% of that to Robinhood, which is working in tandem there with Susquehanna. MIAX will maintain a 10% stake of that derivatives exchange. Now, the reason this kind of works is because then all parties, specifically MIAX and Robinhood, are going to be getting access here to the predictions market. Now, the predictions market, we know, is a space that Robinhood reportedly was set to enter going back to at least a couple weeks ago. So this makes sense. It's in tandem with their strategy. And also Robinhood kind of saying that they believe this is going to allow them, or I guess give them access to these prediction markets, of course, but also give their institutional and retail investors access to that prediction space. We're going to have to see here. We know the events contract trading has become pretty hot. Can Robinhood cash in too? Let's wait and find out. And I think another stock to watch here with this story in mind is DraftKings. We know DraftKings has been viewed as very behind in the prediction market space. But again, like a lot of these names kind of in that space, either exchanges or prediction market related names, we're on watch today as well, because Webull also had quite the run, at least pre-market, and no news that I could find. Let's talk about Bitcoin, which is not having a run, but certainly kind of coming into a pretty key area here, that key area being 89,000. That was the low on Wednesday, which we broke through pretty sharply last Thursday. When I say Wednesday, I mean last Wednesday before Thursday's big drop. And it was also some resistance coming back to Monday. So can we break above this level? Only time will tell, but 89K, absolutely on watch in Bitcoin. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to tune in for Joby.
Tune in for Joby, that is correct. Yeah, just before we send it back over to Obi, guys, don't forget we start at 8 a.m. From here on out. So make sure you guys join us bright and early in the morning. And you know what it is, guys. You know how the saying goes. The early bird gets the worm. Now, SRN...
but did you know the early worm also gets eaten?
But we're the early worm gets eaten, but we're the birds, so we're doing the eating.
Fair.
Right?
Who says we're the birds?
I'm saying that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I feel like we're getting, this can get really philosophical really
it's
fast.
not really, but I just said the early bird gets the worm. We're the bird out
I'm
there
just teasing
getting
you.
the
Every
worm.
time someone says that, that's my rebuttal. I'm like, all right, if we're gonna go for early or late, because it's irrelevant whether you're a bird or you're a worm. Right?
Well, I don't want to get eaten now.
The point is being early for the opportunity.
Yeah,
Sometimes if you're too early, you get eaten.
But Obi, we show up.
You know, me being someone who likes reversions, that really plays a part. Because if I get in too early, guess what? I'm getting eaten up.
Dude, I'm getting up early to eat. I'm not getting up early to get eaten. So therefore, I am the bird, the apex predator in this scenario.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's
I know Darren wants to say something along those lines. But yeah, both get eaten, say some people. What's up?
Neil has something to say.
Everyone out here knows my favorite TV show of all time is The Wire.
Yeah.
So, look, it does matter. You have to consider yourself a predator if you're trading. So that's the analogy you got to go with. I'm going to be Team Joe on this one because as Chris and Snoop always said, you don't want to be the last person to the dance. You got to go out to the spot and you got to scope it out. And if you watch the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Before things go down, Chris and Snoop there an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier. That's how Michael learned. That's how Michael, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but Michael works out all right for him because he listened to those lessons. In trading, you are considering yourself to be a predator. So you got to look at it. I think the analogy works in both ways. But when you're on the offensive, to make a trade, you've got to take an action. So therefore, you want to scope it out soon. It doesn't mean you jump into the trade before it sets up, but it does mean that before it gets to your level, before you have to make a decision, you are all over it and ready to pounce. And the market is pouncing higher. Peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of worms, I'm gonna worm a little bit out here. Actually, I'm not on IBIT. Yeah, well, you get a little bit out, right? So I'm eating, so I'm just feeding the birds right now. Yeah, we had a super chat. We had a.
So wait, we're going back to. Okay, never mind.
What's going on?
You're feeding the birds, then you are the worm.
Bring it, Derek. Oh my God, go, Derek. Talk to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy mixed metaphor, Batman.
Oh, okay. Anyways, here it is, man. This is essentially bird feeder at this point right now, Obi. Just piecing it out here on IBIT. So no bird watching or worm watching around these neck of the woods. Just 49.90s on IBIT. Well, I was going to say something. Okay, yeah, someone put in a super chat, but they didn't put any ticker behind it. And I seen them say, Joe, please, but I don't see anything in what you said. So once again, thank you for that super chat. Obi, if you see SRNAQI 9824, I know that's probably going to be a little difficult to remember. If they put a ticker in SNR is pretty much all you need to remember. I don't see what you said here. You just gave us $1 super chat, $1 Canadian, so 1 snow peso right there. Thank you very much for that one. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I need an espresso, so I'm gonna send this off to you there.
Of course, man. Thank you. I'm watching this hood. I know we called it out a little bit earlier here for a potential reversion. I don't know. I'm watching this. This is slowing down right here on top of this 125. It is a little choppy, so definitely have to be a little wary of this. Holding higher highs and higher lows, but kind of breaking that bit of a trend line that we did draw in a bit earlier. Where is VWAP? I'm thinking VWAP somewhere around here. I'm going to get rid of this moving average. I guess it's coming into the 21 MA as well, so still kind of within trend, but I like to look at VWAP a little bit more, so I'm just going to be like, all right, VWAP, where is the default VWAP? There it is. We do not need any of these Bollingers. No, thank you. Okay, so VWAP sitting all the way at 123.81. So as of right now here on Robinhood, let's see. Previous area of supply. Let's see if that comes in potentially once again here on Robinhood. But this market is absolutely strong. So maybe being a little bit patient for the market turn in order to get involved, perhaps. But again, Robinhood has its own catalyst today, so it might be doing its own thing. let's see what Adair has to say. What's up?
What I have to say here is we actually just got the 7-year note auction. Now, obviously, it usually comes out at 1, but it came out, I guess, today a little bit earlier. It looks like around 11:30. Before the auction, 3.775% high yield for that 7-year note. After the auction, that high yield came out here at 3.781%. So slightly higher yield after that auction than before for the 7-year note. Back to Obi.
Right. So yeah, I did get involved here, just with a bit of a feeler. Let's see how this kind of works out. 125. If that holds well, then yeah, I definitely don't want to stick around here for very long. But if that breaks down, I like that. Market again going against the grain here in terms of market tailwind for sure. So let's see if we can kind of keep it a little tight here. Let me know what you guys are trading as of right now. I know we talked about the strong market. Are you guys long anything? Is there any sort of long thesis that is working out well for you, other than the market itself, of course? So that's kind of what I have on watch. 320s could be an interesting area here on Google as it tries to hold prior day's lows here. We did kind of violate them by 50 pennies, broke 317s, and then nice rebid back into VWAP. But guess what? VWAP is where sellers have been in the pre-market, off of the open, and then going into the end of the opening session as well. So I'm going to be a little patient and wait for it to potentially come back into here to show me some more, I guess, information. But if this 125 halves holds on Hood, then I'm more than willing to kind of get out here as well. Long Tesla, Slimy J saying in the chat. So let's take a quick look at TSLA here. Okay, a little bit of a chop. I'm seeing nothing too crazy in terms of an up move just yet, but it seems like another one of these stocks that seem like VWAP sellers have been pretty heavy, even though now we're kind of sneaking up into it and getting really kind of tight underneath that VWAP, which is now currently happening to confluence with that 420 level as well. Netflix to 109 saying the real Gary. Let's take a quick look at Flakes here, NFLX. Yeah, I keep forgetting that this thing had a split and is very, very tradable now in terms of what I like to look for. It seems like the pre-market high and the prior day consolidation high breakout was nice. It came in right off of the open, 105 holds, but sideways chop consolidation as of right now. Underneath prior day's opening prices are in and around some of these underneath some of these consolidation levels here on Netflix. So wait and watch for that one here. It seems like this market's continuing to catch a bit of a bid here, and this Robinhood is trading back above. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here. Let's see if we can hold the half with any sort of distinction, and then I'm more than willing to kind of piece off of this one and move on to the next one. 320s now on Google. 321, just shy of 321s is that VWAP. With this market being this aggressive, the question I'm asking is Google kind of winding up for a bit of a breakout? When is that pressure going to be released? If not, then are we just holding relatively weak? Yesterday, it was also relatively weak with respect to, with reference to the market here. So, all right, thank you for the super chat. Grizilla Studios bought the dip. Thank you very much. And another one from Alex B. How young were you when you guys did your first trade? That's an interesting question. You want to start off with that?
Does a trade classify as an investment?
Yeah, I think just like when you participated in the stock market. 23, 24, I think. Maybe 22. Anywhere around that. It's a lifetime ago. It feels like literally a decade ago. Yeah, so somewhere around that neck of the woods. How about you? I think for me it was I think around 20. It was in I'd say about 26, 25, 26 ish. When I first kind of started dabbling in the markets, but it's been an absolute blur. But I think it was going into COVID. Going into COVID around when I
is when you made your first
like after COVID is when I really started to kind of
when did you make your first investment, let's say?
Investment? Well, yeah. I talk about Let's see. When was marijuana legalized in Canada?
Yeah.
That
so
was that was the.
exactly,
So I
yeah,
just a couple months before that, I think.
Before,
when
yeah.
I really
Before it was legalized, or the talks of legalization?
Before it was actually confirmed legal.
Legal. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, around the same time as me. Then we're the same age. So probably in the early 20s or something. Yeah, 2017. So yeah, we were in our early 20s at that point. And then when I really started trading, first intraday trades started in 22. 21, 22 is 20. Yeah, I wish that would be nice. Joe is turning 25 next year. You don't buy stocks exactly. Why would I ever do that? But no, yeah, I mean, that'd be nice to be able to turn back the clock. I think that's one of the greatest questions. Oh, someone asked this. For this, and I'm more than willing to do this on multiple occasions. We can't abuse it though, don't forget, right? We don't wanna abuse it too much, but someone asked for a little Stone Cold music leading in towards the holidays. So let's get that one going. We'll hit the ha-ha on that one as well too. So shout out to that. Individual, SNR, you asked me about, you said Joe please, and then you just never put in a ticker after that. Joe is 23. That was, man, again, don't age me too much. November 2017. Okay, Jody, let's see what you got going on. November 2017, I put $5 on BTC and have been hooked ever since. That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes is that one win, and then sure enough, I mean, $5 it's better than no dollars, that's for sure. But that's all it takes is one.
Last I checked.
One trade. You know what they say, Obi?
What do they say?
The worst thing that can happen to you is winning big the first time you ever go to the casino.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Kind of like heroin, not even once.
All right. Well, that took a dramatic turn. Yeah. I mean, you don't really want to go down that well. But yeah. I mean.
Well, I use that reference because you know what the addiction rates for that is.
Probably.
Like you use it once, it has an above 90% percent probability that you are addicted. Like severely
just
addicted.
Once, eh?
Just once.
Like, are we talking about street heroin?
I don't know. This is like a stat I
fair,
learned in school. I was just like, I don't know how real it is, but it is very high. But like that, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. You get that first hit of euphoria, and you're just like, this is the best thing ever.
And then it's just pure dragon chase.
Yeah, exactly. You're just chasing the dragon after that.
You know what's a sick movie? I don't know if you've seen this, Train Spotting.
Train Spotting?
Yeah.
No.
Neil might have seen that. Yeah, awesome movie says Assassino, Train Spotting. Let's go with Darren.
What about Requiem for a Dream?
Requiem for a Dream is another one. Yeah, very, very good stuff there. I mean, this guy. Train Spotting was wild. Yeah, I remember I was legit when I first seen that one. But aside from that, guys, man, we're cooking up. You're Obi,
yes, sir.
How dare you short one of the strongest names right now? Like, it has multiple catalysts going forward. We're breaking out.
Yeah.
And you're looking for that move back towards the volume-weighted average price.
Perhaps.
Crazy.
Maybe.
All right. I mean, Tesla.
Some may call me crazy.
Call him crazy. Call him crazy.
I
have yet to take a sip.
I was looking. I was kind of was watching this old trader interview that was I think it was almost 11 years ago. It was an Investors Underground interview. Shout out to those guys putting out great content all the time. But especially educational content. But a video from like 11 years ago, and he was just talking about how he kind of came into the market, and he was pretty much he never really learned from anyone. He kind of did his own kind of research and studied technicals. And kind of made it from there. Kind of doing his own thing against the crowd, maybe sometimes more often than not. But I kind of sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, when I was listening to that, I was like, okay, that kind of reminds me of me sometimes, where I'm just like, sometimes I short some of the strongest stocks in the market. Sure, I'm trying to get better at nuanced ways of getting involved.
I
for
hope
sure.
it works.
But I mean, you know what? I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think a great quote by and I know I'm going to butcher this, but by Soros is that it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. You know, what matters is how much do you win when you're right and how much do you lose when you're wrong. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, it's all probability.
Totally
so it's just
acceptable,
like, all right,
for sure.
At the end of the day, sure, I understand that. I understand theoretically what I'm doing is kind of, you know, counterintuitive, but maybe that's what I like.
Maybe
that's what I like.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Okay, well, I mean, some names are starting to come back in there, so hopefully it breaks down and heads back towards 123 for you. It looks like it's going to be honest with you, Obi.
We'll see. This 125 hold has been pretty interesting. That's what I said. As long as it can distinctly
What are the higher
halves?
What are the higher time frames telling us?
A higher time frames. The next level is right at 126 halves. We're about $1 right under that prior high. So I am kind of watching that.
I think there's
126 area. But the thing is, supply already came in here pretty aggressively on that chop in the morning. We're slowly grinding back up. And another thing is like the market's starting to slow down a little bit here, but still 10 minutes left in this 15-minute candle to finish printing. So that's still a lot of time for probabilities to change.
Yeah.
Still a lot of time for probabilities.
Time after time. I think you're there. At least so many years. It's a song. Time after time, and I will find you. Time after time.
I do not know this.
I think that's
time after time. I get into reversions a little too early.
That's in, I believe, in Napoleon Dynamite as well too. So for those who know where that is from, all right, guys. We got to think of a poll. I need a poll to put up here. We're getting the Friday feels. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day.
Yeah, tomorrow's off.
Tomorrow is off, man. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of like,
our markets are open.
I'm like Dennis Rodman in a sense. Like, hold on here. Let me finish. All right. That, you know, when he just needs to check out, and then sure enough he comes back and puts up some numbers. I'm like that. All right, so yeah, let me finish. That's why I said let me finish. You just need to check out a little bit.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, and go and do what you got to do on the side, and then you come back fully checked in. I mean, relax. I'm just referring to him in that Michael Jordan documentary when he's like, "Where did Dennis go?" The guy was partying in Vegas for a couple of nights, hops back on the flight, and gives you 20 rebounds when he gets back. All right, so I'm not giving you 20 rebounds or anything along those lines. I'm just talking from a mental standpoint. That's just how I am. As an individual, but Obi,
yes, sir.
Your Robinhood starting to work for you.
It's starting to work right now, but again, still hasn't really shown me any sort of, I guess, how would you say, confirmation, I think is what people call it. But yeah, let's see if we can get that confirmation, that continuation back down through that 125. 124 is that VWAP right there. There's some aggressive sellers. Let's see if they continue. The market is pulling in a little bit more here. 125s are now trading below. Do we hold this consolidation lower as of right now? We'll see. Again, at the end of the day, the goal, man, is just trying to get better at listening to what the chart and price action is telling me. Now, again, I'm going to be wrong a lot of the times, and in that case, that's where the risk management kind of comes in, right? We'll be right back from Adara.
Kind of a wild story here with Intel and TSM. So as you can see here, INTC dropping a little bit. All I saw was this headline where the company said there's no reason to believe there's any merit to the TSMC allegations. So I looked into this basically as of yesterday. Taiwan Semiconductor, or TSM is the ticker, TSMC is the company's name. Basically, they sued a former executive of theirs saying that he took trade secrets over to Intel. Again, Intel saying, hey, there's no reason to believe this actually happened. And they also said that they have policies against the use of third-party intellectual property. So Intel denying these TSMC claims. Intel, stock on watch. Back to you.
All right. So yeah, I mean, there it is, guys. Let's find something else. I mean, Super chat, Jusu, what's up? Put for crowd opportunity will send down because of PANW. I personally like CrowdStrike a little bit more than PANW, but let's take a look at Crowd. Do you really want to be, I know Cyber hasn't been performing that well, but do you really want to be buying puts on CrowdStrike? We're going to answer that momentarily. I don't know, man. I don't know. You could be totally right, and for your sake, I truly hope that you are. But we got to do our just most basic trend line analysis here, and we have multiple attempts. So, and also take note, guys. I think it's really important. We were talking about this not too long ago. Is that when the VIX is heading lower, what does that mean? Less fear. Let me sit up straight here. Make sure I sit up straight, eh, brother?
Yeah, you gotta watch that posture.
Yeah, watch it
later. Like my upper back has been.
You don't even understand.
Just like up here, especially like on the subway home. I'm reading like for like 20, 30 minutes, just standing like this. It's just it all adds up. It's so crazy, and then bad posture all day.
Bro.
I think that's a good point. I think it would definitely do us all a little bit better if we kind of watched each other's posture and be like, hey,
man, stop slouching.
Watch the slouch.
I don't know.
It's so easy, especially when I'm in the zone.
You're like this.
Especially, you know what? Like, come on, gamers out there. When you're tilting a little forward by about 45 degrees, it's plus 10 concentration, plus 15 charisma. You know what I mean? So sometimes when that's happening, you got to kind of lean back, chillax, relax, and just take a deep breath. Stretch out those shoulders and those upper back as well. What do you got going on there?
It's the same thing.
CrowdStrike?
No, oh yeah. Sorry, we get sidetracked really easy. It doesn't even matter.
Back, I'm like,
it just shows the ADHD in my brain is because you guys notice that I'll jump from one thing to another because it's going at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Sometimes it's like, this. Oh, nice butterfly or something like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, squirrel.
like the dog from Doug the dog, right?
Yeah.
I always quote it in the famous words of Doug. Squirrel.
Yeah, boom, just pure immediately distracted, squirrel. But no, in all seriousness, guys, CrowdStrike, I like this. Will I be buying puts on it? I'm gonna be honest with you, no. If you're looking for any form of bearishness or whatever, I think bull put spreads could be a pretty good strategy right now. We talked about the condors. You're not going to be collecting that much premium. And what I was leading at is with the VIX once again, so there's less fear in the market. So what typically happens after that, things tend to go up, and I think that's a pretty good gauge. And that's what led me to not write any more calls currently right now on my IBIT position, just due to how drastically the VIX has came back in. So that's what we have going on. We're sitting in this IBIT trade. It keeps getting bought up. These are beautiful signs of strength. So maybe we can get a reload opportunity here. And just add more shares, because you can see that we're holding this 49.65 level and heading right back towards the low of the day. The high of the day, guys. So that's not a bad look whatsoever. If there's anything in particular that you want to see or look at, please feel free to put it in the chat. The individual SNR, you didn't tell me what ticker you wanted to look at. You gave us the snow peso, which we're very much grateful for, but you never gave me anything behind that, and we want to talk about what you want us to talk about. So please do that as soon as you hear me on this spiel. Now, as for MSTR, Obi, we're seeing a couple individuals finally say MSTR. Look what Bitcoin's doing, and look what MSTR is doing. I don't know, man. I don't know what I would like if I ever met Michael Saylor face to face. I don't know what I would say to him. Truly, I don't know. No, I don't think I would say. I don't even know. It'd be like I would just probably look him in the eye, shake his hand, and then probably just leave it at that and just go non-verbal or something like that. I just don't know what to say to
I would just say thank you for what you've done for the crypto community, because I think that's
the thing?
He definitely deserves a little bit of that.
That's fair enough.
For sure. You know, whether you like the guy or not, he's definitely brought good attention to the space. He's definitely brought awareness to the space, and I think for long-term crypto holders, before Michael Saylor was ever really around, I think that that's definitely a very very good thing for the whole space, for sure.
All right.
I would say thank you.
All right, that's fair, man. I'd say what Pippin said to him. What did he say? 1 piece, 2 piece. All right. I mean, hey, man, let's go. That reload would have been nice. Lunch is now officially served for those who haven't heard the bell. Adara, Neil gave the spice a 2. I'm gonna give this spice a flat. There's relatively none.
You tried it?
I tried it.
Okay.
Yeah. And trust me, I would never deceive you whatsoever.
Well, what about those bean rice things on October 9th that you said weren't spicy at all, and then it was incredibly spicy?
It had negative spice. It had
what about on November?
It had negative spice. Even Brendo was like, no, there's no spice in it whatsoever. Trust me, I would never lie to you. I would never, ever.
I'm not saying it's on purpose. I'm just saying that it's occurred. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, that's crazy. You call me a habitual line stepper at this point, man. But no, in all seriousness, Obi, how's the good? Oh, you're down to 125 there.
Yeah, it's kind of coming in, looking a little bit.
All right. No, you're short 125.10s.
Yeah. Not the best prices, but the idea is there, right? I think.
All right. Jody loves spice.
Gotta wait and watch.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely love the spice there. For sure. It's funny, undergrad, we used to go to all the wing spots that were like nearby the campus and in and around the city, just to go try out what their spiciest flavors were, and we would just rate them, be like, all right, well, these guys say they have spicy. Let's really kind of tackle that and make a decision for ourselves whether or not that's spicy or not. Now, of course, being from an Indian background, I grew up on a lot of spice. And the lore goes that one of my great-grandfathers used to say, if you are not sweating while you're eating, are you really eating? So that's kind of where I come from.
If I have to be like, it's not enjoyable at that time.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I remember the funny time. There was one. It was a Duff's Armageddon wings. When I tried them with one of my best friends, I ordered them. We ordered just 1 pound. Before the wing even touched my lips, I could feel the heat. And after one bite, I was just like, we looked at each other. We're like, we know we have to finish this, but then we also ordered a glass of milk. So you know what I mean. You
know what they say about one bite, though, right, Obi?
What did they say?
Everybody knows the rules, baby.
Just one bite?
At one bite, everybody knows the rules. All right, guys, it's already 12 o'clock. Oh my days.
Wow.
We might piece a little bit more out here, warm a little bit more out on IBIT, but we are going to send you off to Adara with happening now in the Neil with his LOD. LOTD?
Yeah, LOTD.
Yeah, what a day here for this market. This is the S&P 500 just continuing to push to the upside ahead of this Turkey Day tomorrow. And again, happy early Thanksgiving to all of those who celebrate. Really nice Thanksgiving gift here for this market, that's for sure. Let's talk about Robinhood, which has done really well today. Basically, the reason for this hood move to the upside is that the company, in conjunction with Susquehanna, is now taking a 90% stake in the Miami exchange here, MIAX derivatives exchange, the MIAX DX. Got a 90% stake, and they're going to use it for prediction market or events contracts. So that should be an interesting look. Also interesting here, so many earnings on watch today, guys. I have earnings recaps already on X at TTV Research for Dell, Deere, and Zscaler, HPQ, and ADSK on the way. But the point is, tons of earnings on watch here. Dell actually has been and is still pretty strong year day's highs on earnings day one. And if you guys want any of this earnings content or market content in general, please remember, X at TTV Research is here for you. But what else is here for you is an ad read. We'll take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics, because each year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the US. But there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed Origenics, so GEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. So learn more. Schedule a meeting today and schedule your ears to listen to Neil's lesson right here. Neil, give the people said lesson.
Let's do it, and it's a pretty easy one because actually, spoiler alert, I was talking about this in the chat, so a couple of people might have already noticed this. But it's just about, like, sometimes you get a bit of chop fest and you're waiting for a little bit of confirmation of something. And I had said I was looking for 420 as a key level on Tesla. And what patience can mean sometimes, I think a lot of the time, is look at the level of 420 on the higher time frame. It's not as if you obviously have some semblance of support or resistance, like yesterday underneath it for sure, and there previously had been some support. But you know what just happened for the first time in a higher time frame? It closed above twice on the 15-minute. So it didn't want to get faked out. There's your downward trend. Every time it tries to break 420, if you're locked in on 420, there's it testing 420 and rejecting on the 15-minute. There's it testing 420 and rejecting on the 15-minute. At this point, the early shorts have won, and the short 420 is winning in the overall trend. However, when you zoom in, and apologies for the executions, which kind of muddle this up, there's your test to close above 420 for the first time, but barely by a couple of cents. And there's a bottoming tail candle on the 15-minute, which then sets up multiple closes above 420, where you have a clear sense that the buyers are now engaged. Once that's confirmed in the next 15, enter the long position, go right to the first spot of possible resistance 2 days ago. And if it breaks through 22, I see every reason why you shoot 24, 25. So it's easy enough to always say patience, but I find, and I'm trying to do this a little bit more, explaining what patience actually means. Like, what is it that you're looking for off of that level? Just buy at 420? Is that good? I don't think so. I mean, maybe, I don't know, hold it $4 against you, and maybe we get to 424 and then that works out. Or you could have gone for some trend reversions down there, but then that has nothing to do with 420. So if I'm looking at that level, I want to see buyers take advantage of the stock above. So it does require patience, I find a lot of times. But the other thing you should have, if you're going to be patient, fighting a sneeze here, is the ability to say that even if I've waited all day for something, it doesn't mean that you have to get married to the idea. So patience is one side of the coin. But if you're waiting forever for a clean setup, just because it happens and you take the trade doesn't mean you have to go down with that ship. If the whole guts go down with the ship, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard, man. Like, first of all, I ain't no ship captain. I'm not even that big of a fan of boats. Like, I'll get on one, it's just not my cup of tea. But like, let's just imagine a scenario in which I was. Why am I going down with the ship? Everybody else is off. It doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no sense. One of the stupidest things I've ever heard of. What, because of some sense of honor, you should just go down with the ship for no reason? So just because you waited forever, like, watch, how long did you see me after getting out of the long wait for a chance to revert AMD? It's like, wait, nope, didn't do it here, didn't close under there. Okay, no, not really confirming. There's your red candle, there's your second smash. Okay, let's go. But did I marry the trade? Nope. When it didn't fall through to VWAP, I was able to get out, still take a win on it, and thankfully be up on AMD, even though I was kind of fighting it early, reversed into what ended up being a good long. But I waited for that short. Just because you take it doesn't mean you have to go down with that ship. So patience only takes you so far. You can wait forever for that Tesla setup, but I mean, come on, son. Well, I mean, not come on, son, but yeah, come on, son. If this thing closes underneath 420 on the 15-minute, I'm getting the you-know-what out of Dodge, because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm sitting in that first dollar because that's where the resistance was 2 days ago. So we'll see. We just took it there. But at the next look, even if I get this 424, or maybe it reverses trend in here, and I'm thinking reload at 420, this sucker closes the 15-minute under 420 again, I'm jumping out of the trade. It's not what I was expecting. So that's what it's all about. Patience only takes you so far. Patience means knowing what you are looking for to happen and taking the trade. And if you do wait like that, then you're kind of chilled out. Like, you're not freaking out. Am I going to get washed in and out of the trade? Am I going to get chopped up? You don't care, because you've waited all day for something to happen, and I know what I need to look for it to be wrong. But the other side of the coin, of course, means even if you have that conviction or confidence in the trade, it doesn't mean you have to go down with the ship. Leave that to back in the Titanic days, which, it makes no sense. I never liked that analogy. And here's what I will also tell you, just in regards to this. A lot of traders, and I've seen this time and time again, and it's not that it shouldn't be true, because to a certain extent, the trades that you like the best or are the most convicted on ultimately are the ones that end up hurting you the most. And in the trading game, it's the size of your losses relative to your wins that are going to end up mattering. So here's what I'll tell you. You are going to risk the most on the trades you like the most. That's fair. Whether you take more shares, have a wider stop, it's effectively the same thing. What you have to understand then in that situation is, if you're going to give it a little bit more room, well then can I be shotgunning out of this in the first dollar? Or am I shooting for a bigger move here, right? How much, forget about if I had gotten chopped up in Tesla and was making a bunch of other style trades in Tesla, whether I was up or down, it wouldn't matter because I got to judge this trade on this trade. So if it's a higher time frame trade, which I'm trying to give it some room, am I actually trying to win 3-4 times what I would lose if this trade doesn't work? That's what ends up being important. You know, ultimately, it's how much that trade costs you if you take a win. You know, if I'm looking to average, let's say I'm looking to average, and it's about $2.50 on this trade, I can't lose more than $2.50 on the trade. And if I'm trying to risk $1 to $1.50 on the trade, then if I'm getting out 80% of it underneath $1 to $1.50, how does that make any sense? It's not going to overall work. So when you have that conviction, you don't want to go down with the ship, but you also sometimes means holding it for the greater part of said move. So patience matters. It is a virtue. Understand what it is you're looking for, and then strike. But just because you waited forever and have high conviction doesn't mean you go down with the ship on that trade. You don't just start like leveraging in when it's showing you signs that it's not working. And I have to keep in mind too, like the futures are actually coming back in here a bit. And Joe, I know you're watching Bitcoin in that 88,000 level. That's still a big deal. And I'm still looking for that 88,000 reversion. And I'll probably take BM&R tomorrow if and when it does happen. So there's your lesson of the day. I'm going to go back to eating some jerk chicken, which is not all that spicy. And maybe Tesla rallies. Certainly, I think we get a test to 88,000, and then I'll wait for some BM&R or Mara trades.
Yeah, I'll tell you this for free. I ain't going down with no ship at this point. I'm telling you, these stocks. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Assassino. Yeah, there's zero chance I'm going down with any ship. That's. I'll tell you that. I'll get out of board and pull my life jacket out here and try to survive and fight another day. And I'll gladly, in the stock market, I'll gladly jump ship. But as for a team, I try to stick with the same team. But if you want to go down with it, man, that is not a good time because at the other end of the trade, someone's on the yacht with your money, and that's not the case that we want to be in whatsoever. But we have 3 super chats that we have not gone over, and we're going to start off with our boy T. Brucker. What's up, T. Brucker? Let's talk about AMD. Where will it close on Friday? Let's figure that out. You can see we're posted up at 91s here on IBIT. So any strong momentum push, we're going to catch that fill right there, guys. Let's pull up advanced money duplication right here and see what we got going on from a daily perspective. And I mean, the bounce is there, guys. So lots of buying pressure stepping in to a lot of these names. Let's get these lines out of here so we can see a little bit clearly now that the rain is gone. We are so back, baby. We are so back. Obviously being sarcastic. But yeah, in all seriousness, you might get a bounce. You have filled this gap, but I'm just thinking in the back of my head that, I don't know, the street will find something to kind of send this market a little bit lower. You just have to be patient enough and wait for it. Is that going to be the case here in AMD? I don't know. You can see you have an island gap essentially. So here's the island boy. I'm so glad Charleston White beat that one little brothers up. He quit too.
Oh, I didn't even know they fight.
Yeah, they don't fight. I wouldn't really call it fighting. You got beat up. There's got to be 2 parties to fight there. But no, and as in AMD, guys.
Those guys are tiny too. Right?
Yeah, they're really tiny and they're really tough. But I mean, there it is. Let's see if we can catch that fill. Boom! There goes Bitcoin to a new high. Catch that little fill right there. Thank you, Asino, for that. Back to AMD. Yeah, I mean, where will it close on Friday? That's 2 days from now. Maybe you get a retest of 223. That's a key neckline. I think that's going to be a solid level. And then I would be looking for rejections or breakthrough, whether the momentum and the volume steps in or it doesn't. So that is my 2 cents on AMD. What do you think about AMD before we get to Alex B's super chat.
Sure, yeah. I can take a look at AMD here and see what is going on with the advanced money. Let's see. We'll see what that last letter stands for today. Is it destruction or is it duplication? And it seems like a little bit of duplication today there, Joe, yeah, we had some strength coming into the pre-market session. We held about 50% of that pullback of that pre-market leg. A nice little hold of prior day's levels as well, I guess. Sure, it doesn't quite get to those lows, but it kind of comes into some of these interesting levels from yesterday. And nice little bid back up, breaking this downtrend as well. But it seems like as of right now, this right here, just taking it from the day low to where this bid kind of came in. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Nice prior support and resistance levels. I love when those kind of show up, and I don't mean them to, but it seems like it is rejecting off of a prior level here. Break of trend as well. Decent confluence happening here. And look at where VWAP's sitting. That's maybe another level of interest as well. So nice little reversion happening here on AMD alongside the rest of the market. You can see here, look at that. Back-to-back jacks on the 15-minute green candles, and these are the first two red candles that are being printed, and we only have 1 minute left, about 55 seconds, 50 seconds for this 15-minute candle to finish printing. So the question becomes, are we going to get some more continuation? Do we get a 50% pullback of this leg? I like that. Even on the ES, that 50% pullback would bring us into these opening range highs as well. So I like that as a bit of a balance. Let's see if that comes into fruition, right? Talking about it is nice. Being like this is within the range of possibilities or plausibilities is nice, but can it actually come in, and do we see that follow through happening? And ideally, how I like to look at it is like, yeah, like I said before, I like going against the grain. Sometimes I like to call it going against the perceivable grain, right? So it's just like, all right, what's being marketed? This is a market. What kind of action is being marketed on the chart, and what might be actually going on in the underneath it as well? There comes my first cover there on Robinhood as we crack below that 125, 124.60s. I don't know if I was a worm or a bird here, but it seems like the bird is definitely the word on Hood as it comes back right into VWAP 124s. Let's see if we can balance it out here. Reversion to the mean can be pretty mean, but you know, sometimes you just got to last there for the trip. And here it comes in. Where is VWAP, you may ask? On this chart here, it's coming into 124s. On this other chart here, specifically speaking, it's coming in at 123.89. So about 50 pennies lower here. We'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. I'm just gonna, like I said before, I'm trying to do my best to just listen to what the action is telling me. Of course, it is a work in progress. I am not good as some of the players as I aspire to be like, but it's a work in progress, right? It's definitely a work in progress. What I love about trading, and it reminds me of certain types of games. Rocket League is one of them. The skill ceiling is like so high. Right? The skill ceiling is so high, and there's players that definitely exist out there that are much bigger and better, and that always keeps me driven. That always keeps me motivated. And yeah, it's just, the thing is, I know for a fact, like, you know, the best gamers, maybe you only see them on the leaderboards. The best traders, maybe you only see them on public leaderboards. But most of those guys are just you know, undercover. They don't really kind of make themselves known, which is very, very respectable as well. Now, of course, this market's coming back with a little bit of a bid. Now, the question I'm asking is, can we hold below this 125 on Hood? I already covered a little bit, not everything. VWAP is where I'm looking for a majority of this, but the thing is, it doesn't even have to get there, right? I don't know if it's going to get there, but the probability stack is definitely working in our favor now as Hood breaks back below this 125. The market looking like it's catching a little bit of a breather here as well. We had those two first red two first red candles after multiple greens, and let's see if this third one is going to continue to give us more of the same, or if it gives us a little bit of pain to the downside, I guess, for the longs. But that would definitely work for me, as I am sitting in a bit of a short here on Hood, which did go down to 124 halves, but now reclaimed. So it held the half. It's trying to print the next quarter, which is 75s here. But I'm still waiting and watching because, again, bigger picture, we attempted to push that 126. Supply was shown on the initial push. That nice chop, I liked it. I participated in the flow that happened back down through that 125. Guess what? We grinding slow bid. The market turns. I like that. Kind of observing that those potential sellers start to step in a little bit, maybe not as aggressively as before, but definitely a distinctly different action than that of the grind back up to the upside here. But we'll see. Those buyers can step in at any point. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The probabilities are definitely ever changing with every tick, with every candle, with every minute that passes, and we have to be as nimble as possible for that to potentially come in. Let's see if we can break below the halves and print the quarters. What do you got going on, Joe?
All right, guys. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leveraged ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs offering 3x bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P and the TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn more. And that's what you want to do. Got to trade to pay taxes out here. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. They don't mess around, man. But where were they when all of you guys were grinding here in the market trenches and working hard and scratching your head? Do they deserve a piece of that pie?
Who is it?
The old tax man, Uncle Sam, man. Uncle Sam.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the game is a little bit pay to play, and that's kind of where taxes come in sometimes. Exactly, like I like Texas, I like a few other places for
Puerto Rico is out there.
I've heard Bali is nice, so
UAE, Bali is
Dubai is great as well. But at the end of the day, man, it's like
take the talents to Dubai. No tax?
Maybe, perhaps, but this is definitely where home is for me. So I might pay a little, it's definitely worth.
Home is where you make it, Obi. Don't forget that, my friend.
100%.
Okay, so let's do this. Guys, I'm still trying to think of a Thanksgiving poll. If we have any good ideas on the Thanksgiving poll, get that up. Bali is awesome. All right, so we're going to go with 3 tax-friendly regions. We're going to go with Puerto Rico, Dubai, and Texas. If you had to pick out of any of those 3, which one would it be, Obi?
Puerto Rico, Dubai, or Texas? I'll go straight with Texas.
Texas. All right, baby. Let's go to Texas. All right.
All my exes live in Texas?
Oh, so you're going back there?
No.
All right, so you're gonna switch that one up there.
I like Texas, but here's a couple of reasons why. I can ride my motorcycle all year round. Beautiful. Anywhere that will give me that option, I'm definitely that's a factor of confluence for me. I'm sure it might get a little hot, but it is what it is.
Did we go over all the super chats?
On that one there. Did we? I don't know. We can check in a second here right now.
So I have a couple
we got
to go
3, but before that, guys, I just found something crazy. I'm digging into exchanges and stumbled across BTCC top 30 globally, but here's the wild part. BTCC has never been hacked. While major exchanges keep getting wrecked, BTCC stays untouched. 0 KYC if you're in the US, Canada, or Europe. Through Trader TV, you get 100 USDT coupons for registering, plus 15% bonus thing that covers losses up to 15K USDT. Seriously, what am I missing here? Scan the QR code for more information. All right, so what am I missing here? It seems like I missed a little bit of the bid here on Hood as we come right back up into that 25 level. I think I did post out a little bit earlier. Why is it saying rejected order here? I just got to check what do you got going on? Why are you rejecting my order? Okay, it's definitely, I was like, wait, BP reject? I'm like, no, there's no way. Yeah, no, it seems like I just have too many orders out right now. That's okay. 125 is coming in here. Google couldn't really hold that 320 as of right now. I mentioned before, that was also opening range lows, and a little bit of support turned into resistance here at that 320s, giving you that $2 chop that I was talking about yesterday. It was just consolidating 322s to 318s, chop, chop, chop both ways. Today, holding that 320 both with the opening range lows and this consolidation, midday consolidation low here as well. I got to check where some of these orders are sitting. All right, cool. So it didn't really get that low. So I got to cancel some of these and maybe take some off here. As you know, if we're gonna reclaim 125s after attempting to push into 124 halves, you know, I don't really like that. We talk about probability stacking, and the stack is definitely not in the favor there if it's going to do that. But still, well within range, I'd say 125s. I just want to lighten up so that I can get some maybe better inventory at higher prices there potentially. So I'll cancel all of those. 125s, there it is, 125.10. So that right there, back through, gives us a nice little pop. So that's why I want to get rid of some of these earlier ones, because I did re-engage or add underneath this 125 half, and a nice little double tap there as we held the halves pretty well. Like I said before, do we hold that 125 with any sort of distinction? We didn't. I got involved once again in the market tailwind. Definitely helped us out for a pullback into VWAP. Like I said before, not always do we get right down to VWAP. The path to VWAP can be very, very choppy and not clean at times, but sometimes you just got to go with the flow and kind of move with the movements. What do you got going on?
They're to move with the movements right now. And that movement currently, Obi, is Trade the Pool, which is transforming how stock traders access the markets. With this limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. And right now, with Trade the Pool's Black Friday deal, you get 15% on all evaluation accounts automatically at checkout. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get the discount. All right, we got a lot of super chats. As IBIT is continuing to climb a little bit higher here, guys, we're going to wait for 50s or 97s to get involved with that. $30 by DJ Marshall. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to watch the channel. Happy to see the show. It's growing and the studio changes look great. Ears on me. Happy Thanksgiving. No, thank you for that. Trader. We're gonna get to the next one here momentarily, but first and foremost, we've got to take a little bit out here. Whew. That was close. Bang! Catch that fill on IBIT, so not too bad of a look. Now we are going to move on to Alex B, 1738. Okay, I see what you did there. All right. Shout out to Fetty Wap. Also, the captain of the ship is the equivalent of the CEO or board of directors. Traders are more like pirates looking for the loot. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Absolutely. That is exactly what we're looking for. Alex B, thank you very much for that. I couldn't agree more with you, my friend. And then Hangry Wife, a member for 3 months. God bless Obi, Neil, Sean, Joe, Sharif, Adara, Brendo, Ram, Assassino, and Fabian. The show is tremendous value. Thank you very much for that, Hangry Wife, member of 3 months. Now on to Spy Trader once again. DJ Marshall here. What's going on, my friend? Sending the extra beer money. So that's $50. Jeez Louise, that's 50 Canadian. That's like almost $80 Canadian right there, my boy. But also what's climbing higher is IBIT up to 1550. And we're going to take a little bit more off, just going with the flow. But Spy Trader 80, thank you very much for those super chats. Oh, that's a whole lot of beer, and there's not that much alcohol consumption on this floor. And actually, speaking for myself, Sharif doesn't really drink. Not anymore. Not anymore. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? But thank you very much.
Fridays get pretty lit.
Pardon me?
I mean, Fridays get pretty lit.
Fridays get pretty lit. We're still keeping
the traditions going. That's for sure.
You know what it is, though, my friend? Like, for me, I don't, so I play hockey on Fridays, but I also don't like having any beverages before the game, so I can go in there, whoop some bum, and then after is when there's nothing more refreshing. I'll tell you one thing, man. I don't know if you've like, after playing like an intensive sport or a nice workout, especially after hockey, I don't know what it is, but when you crack a beer after hockey, it just hits different, man.
Oh yeah,
it hits different. It's just like you're thirsty, you're parched, and you're like, all right, let's get some of this.
What's your go-to drink of choice?
5%. My go-to drink of choice would be tequila.
Tequila?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's not a beer, though. That's not a beer.
Beer. If we're going beer,
that's what I mean.
I'm probably gonna have to go with either Red Stripe or Modelo.
Okay, Red Stripe. I see you. I like that. Okay, all right. Man of culture. I like that. Nice.
Roots and challenge. Oh my days! Look at Bitcoin go here.
Whoa, here we go. Yeah, the bid is coming in, man.
This thing is performing significantly stronger than the market. The volume is coming in, guys. Look at this volume here on IBIT as we're starting to climb a little bit higher. Phenomenal stuff. I'm loving this. Okay, survey. Prefer turkey with pineapple or pizza with pineapple? They're good. I'm still taking offers though. We got an hour and a half. We got an hour and a half left. I got to think of something pretty good. I mean, what's our average price? Oh, $1 is that on IBIT there, Obi? I got nothing left, brother. A 10%, now 5% of the remaining position. We're gonna post up right there to see if we can catch a fill. But the volume supporting this move in Bitcoin. Don't Canadians like Sol? Sol isn't bad either. Wow, IBIT says Gorev. Wow is right, I think, at this point. So Modelo is up there, man. Don Julio is the best mainstream tequila. Yeah, I like Don Julio, and Patron it's all right. I like Don Julio more. Casamigos just took the tequila world by storm, in my opinion.
Casamigos?
Yeah. I like Reposado as well too. Joseph. Okay, Dark Trader, top 10 beer of all time is the locker room airport beer, the first beer. Yeah, exactly. There you go. I like how you said that. That airport beer.
The airport
beer hits different. There's no questioning that. Yeah, wow, IBIT. Modelo Especial, yeah, very good. The dark one is very good as well too. MF Dangerous. It's all marketing for Patron. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, there it is, guys. Let's take a little bit off here on IBIT. I only have one out after this, so we'll take it up there. But we've been riding this trend, and this is what we were looking for earlier in the day. It just needed to absorb a little bit more liquidity, and sure enough, we're now off to the races, up 1.5%. But we got the super chats flowing in today. I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving, and you know, take it easy. You got to go see the family tomorrow, so don't get too carried away. Mike, Peter Ryder. All right. Survey turkey and pineapple on pizza. No, we're still thinking. I need some good quality ideas, some Thanksgiving related. That's a pretty good one, but we're still taking some offers there. Let's see what our other super chat is saying there. Assassino portfolio up 16% the last 2 days. Okay. Swinging NVDA calls and holding INTC stock and calls. Y'all have helped me learn to secure gains versus being greedy. I mean, both sides of the party can make a little bit money, but I think as the saying goes, hogs get slaughtered. Is that how it goes? Or pigs get slaughtered, something like that?
Pigs get slaughtered.
Pigs get slaughtered. I mean, so hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of quirky sayings in the market. Yeah, all of them kind of stand in different scenarios. But yeah, that is what it is. 125. So we got back above. I punched out of that last piece right there, above 125 halves. Did re-engage when we kind of looked like we just had like a momentary push and then kind of stalled, and then just kept it really tight, because I was just like, if this goes back below halves, I want to be a part of it. But if it reclaims, I definitely don't want to be a part of it, because again, we did go down to VWAP, we did hold, so a quick little scalp there for, I guess, about $1, 50 pennies roughly. Let's say on average, we'll be a little conservative. We'll say about 50 pennies if I'm averaging those entries and averaging some of these exits here as well. Where is the next trade is what I'm asking. So let's see what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Coin. All right. So Gorav Sanchdev, okay, in the chat saying, I took a coin long at VWAP. All right, Gaurav, let's take a look at Coinbase here. And that's probably running as well a little bit with Bitcoin. Okay, not as strong as some of those IBIT moves, but definitely VWAP was a good place to get to engage, because, again, off of the open, VWAP buyers. We attempt to reclaim VWAP buyers, pull back in off of a false break of high of day. VWAP buyers, pull back in, higher low, VWAP buyer. So I like that. Again, we talk about seeing more of the same and then participating in that move when we see more of the same, right? And I like that idea for sure. Just trying to keep it simple, right? People kind of. I'm doing my best to try to keep it as simple as possible because at the end of the day, the entries and the exits, you kind of have to. You kind of have to. If you boil it down to as simple as possible, that's, I find, the most effective way to operate real time because you're not doing a lot of the thinking. You're not thinking about the meta too much, being like, all right, well, buyers were here, sellers were here, so I need to do this, I need to do that. That's already kind of like, you're already watching that. But then the entry is just like, all right, well, if I think that, VWAP is bid today and buyers are at VWAP and I like the long, the executions in and around VWAP make a lot of sense, right? So good stuff on that. Adam James saying, happy USA Day of Thanks to our 51st state brothers. Thank you to you as well.
Bro lives in Canada. I don't know why. I don't know.
Oh, so you know this person.
It's crazy.
Bruh. Nice.
Yeah, that's Adam. That's my guy, AJ, man.
Nice,
Adam James,
nice.
man.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's my guy.
Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. That's it's tomorrow. Market's going to be closed. We're not going to be here. But if you're interested in trading, there are CSE is open, TSX is open. Markets around the world are still open. So
how about that?
Bitcoin's also open, doesn't really close. So, yeah. I don't know if I guess options market's also closed tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
hella closed, man.
Okay, cool.
Am I allowed to say that? Probably not.
I might look at some Canadian stocks intraday tomorrow. Maybe we'll see what's doing volume. See what's doing some stuff.
Gotta scratch the itch, baby. Gotta scratch.
I mean, it's not gotta scratch the itch. It's just I like trading, but maybe you can see it that way. You can see it as gotta scratch all these itches. Sometimes, sometimes there's so much itch so you feel like you have eczema. So,
That's crazy.
Amazon pulling back into VWAP right now.
What's that? You remember that one meme? It was like, you got eczema?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Is that how they said that? Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, Joseph, the market is closed tomorrow, Coach UV. Thank you, but the CSE is not. TSX, I don't believe is not. But yeah, I mean, there it is, 50-50 in Bitcoin.
Hey-o.
Let's go.
Nice. I think it keeps on going up.
Yeah, we're still staying. I don't got much left here, guys. Who said it? My boy in here, the Jameson. That's crazy. Someone said nice trade. I'm just trying to remember who it was. It wasn't the Trav man. It was the next one of somebody else that said that. But yeah, aside from that, guys, Rookie Trader, I appreciate you, my friend. But there it is, man, just riding this wave since approximately 11 o'clock this morning. And then now, sure enough, we're still at the peak. So just holding on to it with these Deontay Wilder type mitts. But at the end of the day, huge up in BMNR. All right, let's take a look at BMNR and a couple of the crypto names as we're starting to get a little bit of a rebound here, guys. Yeah, I mean, a nice pop. You're still stuck within this range, though, right? So you want to break through some of these key levels. What's ETA? There it goes, man. I had a strong feeling that I should have added a little bit at that volume increase on IBIT, but that's okay. Yeah, there goes ETHA, volume supporting this move. So some good stuff there in the crypto world, a much anticipated bounce. But I mean, on the grand scheme of things, we're still down, I think like 25% on Bitcoin there or something along those lines. Let's get some exact metrics and see what we're looking at here, Obi. Just from a Bitcoin standpoint, is there anything that you specifically are looking at right now, or have anything that's starting to pop up on your radar? Or
me?
Yeah.
I like Apple.
Apple?
With,
okay, what's Apple doing?
Right here. So we come into this opening range high. We attempt to break it. We're underneath that 280. We're in some supply zones from yesterday. Take a look at that. Absolutely beautiful hold of that 180 right off of the open. Nice little reversion coming into the end of the day. We see more of the same happening today. But again, this is what I keep reiterating this. Recent areas of supply and demand. Do those players show up again? That's all I'm kind of looking for. And then, of course, confluencing it with tape, with price action, with what I'm seeing on the charts as well. I kind of I think ideally I should be in here a little bit earlier, but I am watching this. This consolidation hold is interesting. I guess if we break this shelf, I definitely want to get involved here, but I think getting involved a little bit earlier and watching this 279.5 kind of come in, I like that. And shout out to Joe for his IBIT, because that continues to blast off, man. What is Bitcoin actually doing right now? Let's take a quick look here at Coinbase, or the Coinbase exchange right here. So, okay, so a 90K pop. So, all right, we were breaking out of, or attempting to break out of this consolidation. We already broke out of this consolidation. We're getting up into those 89,225s as of right now, and those are the highs, I guess, from the beginning of the week. All right, cool. So weekly highs about to be broken here on Bitcoin. Let's just go right to the weekly chart. Let's take off some of these indicators here. We don't need a VWAP on the weekly. Interesting. Okay, all right. So yeah, a little bit of a break of trend there, pulling back into a prior level and catching some bid exactly in and around the same area where last time we caught an aggressive bid. So more of the same on top of 80 as of right now. Now that could change as well, but I like that $80, nice 80K bounce on Bitcoin there after multiple weeks of selling, some aggressive selling, maybe a failure to follow through of the quarter above 100, right? 125. Cannot, like I said this before, in terms of price action, when it comes to price action and the fractal nature of price action, there's one question that I just keep it simple that I like to ask. Can you, if you're breaking above a hole, which was the 100K mark, can you hold the quarter and print the half? We false broke the quarter here, 125 false break. And then sure, you could have, until then, this did look very bullish. This did look like it was going, but then we start to see some weakness as it pulls back into this 110s, 100K as well, this consolidation from before, and it's taking bus stops all the way down to this structure now, which is about 80K. I really, really think this 70K is gonna be pretty interesting as well. And again, the reason why, strong buyers last time we were there, let's see, and then strong buyers off the 80K, which stepped up from 70 to 80. The question becomes, are they gonna step up now? I don't know. 80 is being bid as of right now, and that's the limited information so far that we have on the chart. But I'm sure there's other rhyme and reasons for people to position into this asset in however way that they want to, and that's something I want to be thinking about and tracking as well. Is like, all right, what are some of the bigger players and the institutions kind of doing and positioning, or how are they positioning into some of these assets, and that might give me an inkling of direction and confluence as well. 126 is potentially coming back in here on Robinhood. So yeah, buyers at VWAP seems like they showed up once again on top of 124 halves. A quick recovery back through 125s, and now going too high of days as the futures just consolidate within their upper quartile here as well. Google looking distinctly different from the rest of these mags, as again, that relative weakness is really showing up here on Google. So let's take a quick look at Google and see what is going on here. Wow, that's a lot of lines, which are probably irrelevant as of right now, but nice little gap up. Okay, interesting. Gap up on the weekly here, bit of a top wick as well. Let's go straight to the daily. I'm curious to know what we were doing here. All right, cool. So 1, 2, what was the percent push on this? That's interesting. All right, cool. All right, something I want to keep in mind, about a 13, 15% push off of this consolidation break within the span of a few days. Interesting stuff, to say the least. But strong trend here on Google. Like I said, one of the strongest stocks in the market. We looked at some of the strongest ones with the scan yesterday, and it was Lilly and Google, which were the strongest stocks in on that specific scan. So LLY, let's take a quick look at how that's doing today. Couldn't quite get past prior day's highs as of right now on Eli Lilly. A little bit of a relief day today as sideways chop. So I'm asking, are we getting that leg consolidation on the day today and looking for a potential leg coming in on the next trading day, which is going to be a half day on Friday? Maybe. We'll see. Half days are always interesting, man. But we'll see what opportunities we have going on for us there. There's Amazon coming right back up into VWAP as well. So beautiful reversion happening here on Amazon, coming into an area that showed sellers in the morning session, and then, or coming into the open, and then showing us some sellers here once again, maybe off of this trend break that you can kind of, you know what I mean, kind of just arbitrarily draw in there. I forget who it was in the chat that one time, but shout out to Arbitrary Chart Art is what I like to do for sure. Softy taking a bit of a trend break here as well, rejecting its opening range highs or these pre-market range highs as well. So more of the same. Wow, there's 126s on Hood. There's a breakout incoming. So maybe some opportunity, some fresh highs on the Hood.
Hooded one.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Continuation.
I'm forever long. I'm forever long Robinhood, man. Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Who did that?
What?
Who hit the fail?
I don't know.
That's right.
What?
You better hide. Honestly. Obviously joking.
Oh, man.
I hit a fail. You can stop the fail on that one. I probably shouldn't say that. But no, in all seriousness, Robinhood. Hi, man.
Right.
Yeah, these guys, man. These guys are just trying to. I don't know, man. I don't know what's in them sometimes. They're troublemakers. But no, in all seriousness, IBIT continuing to grind high. Yeah, we don't know, man. They're hiding over there. So whoever's hiding back there, oh, it's Fabian.
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 All right, 126 is pushing, man. We got an intraday breakout.
Yeah. Do we ever have an intraday breakout? Look at the intraday breakout here on IBIT, up now 2.25, guys.
Wow.
George
Straight line.
You know what? Playbook agency. I was never a Seinfeld guy, so I don't know if that's a compliment or a jab, which. I tend to defend the jabs, so we'll keep a look at that. But no, in all seriousness, Robinhood up to 126.22. We got Palantir heading towards the high of the day as well, too, guys. Tesla not quite breaking out just yet. For the individual in the chat who asked me, what do I think about this? I mean, you can see the market is continuing to climb higher. Tesla not participating just yet. Just keep an eye out on this downtrend potentially breaking. I mean, I have one out left here on IBIT. Not much more I can really ask for at this point here. We're in at 49.32, and then sure enough, we get that move all the way up to here. So I have no issues with just getting out of the position whatsoever. So yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've had this on the side for quite some time. As soon as I get the green light to go, we'll head over to Adara. But the tech sector leading the way up 1.5%, materials 1 1/3, and then energy 1 1/4. And then we have consumer discretionary up still about 0.75%. Communication services you're at about 1/5, and then the healthcare had to put a little bit of a rain on the parade today and not hold on to its green. You're down less than 0.1% right there. But there goes
Robinhood.
There goes
Robinhood, Tesla, Palantir. Take a look at that.
Palantir. Would you look at that?
I'm looking at your screen over there. I don't even have Palantir up right
Palantir,
now. But,
yeah, you've got those things, man. There's a lot rocking and rolling right now. This is a big time recovery in Bitcoin. We're thankful for that. Adara,
what do you got
to us?
Yeah, take a look here at this YCBD, this one moving higher here after these reports started circulating on X, suggesting that Medicare is going to test making CBD treatments available for seniors. So CBD to the upside. Keep an eye on AAPL here as well, guys. Apple, AAPL, according to a court filing, warning India that their antitrust penalty law could make the company face fines of up to $3 billion. So again, Apple filing here in court saying that, hey, India, your antitrust penalty laws could make us face up to $3 billion in fines. Back to you.
That, I mean, there's a lot breaking out right now. This is a rock and roll, and people trying to pay for their turkey dinners, and this is what we want to see on Wall Street, just pumping the market. Now you're up 2.5% on IBIT, which is phenomenal. Sure, Joe, what's your short-term target on IBIT? Asked Atto. I have none, really. I have one. I literally have 5% left of my original position, so I'm just letting this ride. Nice. I can take it out at any given minute, and I could care less about it, but the volume is supporting this move higher and higher, so I'm going to rock and roll. I can't complain whatsoever. I mean, all the way from IBIT on multiple occasions. It's just unfortunate that this was the smallest, from a share standpoint, the smallest size that I put on compared to the rest of them. Should I do it? I mean, then I'll have to snipe for another trade because I want to keep some things on for you. But IBIT, yeah, this is a turkey dinner winner. For sure. We're putting the chicken aside. I was going to ask, Obi, so for turkey Thanksgiving, do you like, what is your favorite kind of part of the turkey? You like the dark meat? You like the white meat? I think that could be a pretty good poll question there.
I like the dark meat. Definitely got to get some cran sauce in there as well.
Cranberry sauce on that one.
Yes, for sure, man.
I like I'm a chicken breast guy. I like chicken breast and turkey breast. Obviously, for me, I think. Okay, it says hangry wife. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's what I was getting at there, right? I didn't know if that was going to be a legit poll there. Yeah, see, there you go. Options, dark, white, beyond. That's a great one, Kapow. I think that might be the poll. but I don't know. Yeah, okay, Clip Monarch. Yeah, whatever. There goes Coinbase, though. Nice work on that one there, Gorev. So put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What is your favorite? What are you going after? You're with your family. You know your cousins are going to try to take what you want. What are you taking from your cousins at the end of the day, or your aunts or your uncles, or that one uncle that's always giving you a hard time, trying to beat you up, but then come 5 or 6 o'clock, he's passed out on the couch like this while everyone else is still running around. Everybody has that uncle who's just sleeping at the family function. I'm that uncle, says MF Dangerous. All right, you fall into the old food coma. There's nothing wrong with that. Duck and wild rice. Okay, we like that one. Yes, Wes. I'm gonna put mine in the chat. Maybe we shouldn't do that. But anyways, a coin continuing to climb. Hood continuing to climb up to 127. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin moving higher. Ethereum on the warpath as well too, but coin moving up with some vigor here, guys. And you can see on the daily where are we at. Base shout out to Base God. For those who know who Little B is, which he's an absolutely horrendous rapper, but it's what we listened to back in school. 232, and then now you're climbing up to around 263. So a nice one. Yeah, the mashed potatoes, you got to go extra gravy and everything. Little B says, yeah, I mean, this guy's horrible. All right, thanks the others. Thank you for pointing that out. Greek lemon chicken. Nana, this is Greek lemon chicken. This is Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's coming with mention of Little B. Yeah, sorry, anyways. But no, in all seriousness, guys, we're up almost 3% here on IBIT. A phenomenal move. And I'm just rocking and rolling here, Obi. I wish I had significantly more shares, but that doesn't seem to be the case. As we head up into $51, I'm going to have to hit this one more time on the day. Texas Roadhouse mini rolls, says Alexandra. Okay, cornbread stuffing. Second on the deviled eggs. Okay. All right. It's a lot of hot takes in there. Just trying to set the mood, you know what I mean? Okay, Trader TV Live, thanks for tuning in on that one. Much appreciated. Bitcoin printing for you. Yeah, it's working really good. We're up at 51 now. I think there's a little bit more room to climb here as we head up into 51.05. But you know what? I was just talking about it, so I have to put my money where my mouth is. We're out at 51 here on IBIT. A beautiful move to the top side. So there it is, a nice move. Bang is right. We'll hit the Stone Cold one more time there for everyone.
Yes, sir. There it is.
That stuff gets me going, man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got? You in something now?
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a hood short here. It did slap up 126s to 127s right away, and I saw that and I like it. I'm like, okay, the long was definitely there. I like it, but in my books that might be a little too far too fast. And I like the little tape read there as well coming in. There we go, covering most of it in the halves, just looking for that quick 50-penny scalp just on the tape, giving a runner. Let's see if we can revert back to the mean, whatever that means. But 126 breakout absolutely clean, but the market is pulling back in here as well. So a quick little 50-penny scalp. Where is the next trade? I don't know. I'm waiting for this. Can we break below this half 126s? I don't know, but this is kind of that opening range structure as well. What was that high specifically? Let's get specific. 126.26s on that one. So I do want to kind of piece off of this one as it tries to bid right back above. Again, very, very strong breakout on that 126, but a little too far too fast. And in terms of price action, but then again, that can be very subjective, right? That's very subjective. The only thing maybe that kind of helped me out or gave me confluence for the trade was I watched it break out from 126s and I sat on my hands, didn't chase the breakout, didn't push for the move, and then when it started to stall 127s and that aggression that we had, oh wow, take a look at that, slamming into the bid, nice. Right back down.
Nice print there, Obi. A nice short signal there, baby.
Here we go. Where's your short? What's a short signal?
Right here, brother. Look. So we have an inverted hammer candle.
Okay, nice,
right?
nice.
With an outstanding volume print right here, 1245. Oh. That's going to be the
when
largest.
When did that candle close?
At 1245.
1245. Okay, about 6 minutes ago.
Yeah. So you got the isolated volume right here. Probably going to be one of the largest prints, but an inverted close, completely full. So that is a beautiful short signal, my friend. Way to stick to your guns, brother. Continue.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I'm not necessarily getting in on the hammer, but I did see the hammer after it was formed. Again, just a tape turn, just a quick tape turn, because I saw the tape ripping up into the 127s, right? I'm like, buyers, 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 buyers. They just kept wiping the book, and then no more wipes after 127. So I'm like, all right, that is a distinct change in behavior, and I love kind of getting involved with things that are distinctly different over time. So we'll see if we're holding the halves right now. That's kind of all I was looking for. Maybe a 50% pullback of that crazy rush, that dollar rush that we had from 126s to 127s here, only holding on to a breadcrumb now, waiting and watching to see if we can actually get back to 126s. But this is, like you said before, uptrend, holding strong on VWAP, up, you know, it has a catalyst, it's up on the day, a lot of eyes on, definitely doing relative volume here as well. How much relative volume, you may ask? I got here, let's see, we got about, we've been averaging around 1.4, 1.4-ish for the past hour or so, but some decent increasing volume on that breakout candle through 126s. You can see some of those volume bars towering over that of the others there. IBIT, that 51, have it up on watch as well. Okay, so you did make a decision up there at that 51.
I think I have to take that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think there are decent reasons to sell that are potentially coming in on IBIT as well. I'm watching, again, I just had it up and I'm like, okay, well, that looks a little distinct there. The first red candle gives us the second red candle as well, so a bit of continuation happening there on a very aggressively strong move, straight through 50, all the way to 51. Shout out to Joe for holding on, and you had that entry way below, man. Great trade there, solid stuff, getting involved. 49 halves there. Where's the next trade? That's what I'm waiting for. That was a quick 50-penny scalp. Thank you. Come again. Where is the next trade? Let's take a look. Alphabet still relatively weak. Let's just go through all the megs here. Google looking relatively weak with respect to the market. You can see here the market is trading within its upper quartile of that leg, but Google distinctly different, trading within the lower quartile of its down leg today and showing us that distinct weakness that it showed us yesterday as well. Aggressive selling on the news that happened over, overnight. Bit of a gap up, push, almost 5% in the morning session in the pre-market, but kind of balances itself out pretty decently coming in into the open. 320 shows up as a bit of an interesting level of involvement, and that's showing up once again today, not only off of the open as a strong bid, but a nice reversion back into that 320s, and now that support or that opening range low holding as resistance in the intraday, in the middle of the day, trading a little bit lower, 318s. I kind of looked at this chart this morning and I was just like, hey, pod, I think Google wants prior day low. And guess what? We came in and clipped that prior day low all the way from VWAP here as well. 320s was in around that area, VWAP right there. So beautiful continuation. I think that was a decent probability for sure. I would say, again, real time, I'm just like, all right, what's the probability? Is it over under 50 or maybe more significant than that? And that kind of helps me out real time being like, all right, is this worth taking? And it gives me a quick estimate of potential expected value of the trade. Now, again, that's a very, I'm trying to do that as best as possible. And it is I would say, very, very difficult skill for me. But definitely going to overcome that over time. But I think that's where one of my room for improvements definitely lie, and it's a work in progress here for sure. What is Robinhood doing? Holding the half, kind of ish right now, holding the half pretty decently on Robinhood. So we'll let that one come into fruition. Market tailwind definitely helped us out here on that move as well, where we attempt to push those day highs on the market, and then we pull right back into this consolidation. So a nice little chop, flagging, as some of you might know it, here on the Nasdaq and the ES. Where will we go from the flag? I got no idea. We could go up, we could go down, we could go all around town, but we'll have to wait and watch and see where the opportunities or the next ones lie here. Broadcom was one of the names I was watching as well. Broadcom coming in with some aggressive strength as well. So AVGO, let's see what you're up to here. Wow, would you take a look at that? 400 on the horizon on
400.
Broadcom. We basically reclaimed all of yesterday's action. Pretty decent close here where we revert about over 50% of the move. We come in and we find some interesting VWAP chop and hold here coming in off of the open as well for a reclaim of some pre-market levels and some pre-market highs as well. Decent continuation for a pushback up into 400. All right, so if Robinhood is going to come back into this 27 mark, I definitely want to get involved with this and make a little bit of decisions here. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Okay, cool. All right, done with that one there. So that potentially came in. 120. If 127 is going to come back in and hold, I don't necessarily want to continue being part of that. What do you got going on?
Oh man, this thing. I got nothing, man. I'm just big cooling right now.
Yeah.
This is how I'm feeling today, to be honest with you.
Nice, good stuff, man. You gotta be in those good feels, especially when your stock is like pushing up in a straight line.
Oh, there's
boom,
so
boom,
many
boom,
reasons.
boom.
Oh
yeah.
From the intraday standpoint, I could care less, but in my swing account is what really matters, and this is what we wanted to see.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, I hope. Hey, Joe, what's the option saying about SPY close today? Joey 316. I like that one. You're Huckleberry. Yeah, let's take a look at the old chain and see what we got going on that front. I just can't wait to go and hit the gym. Oh, okay. I got the poll, Assassino. Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
Will you? It's not necessarily Thanksgiving related, but we're gonna put it up there. Will you be watching season 5 of Stranger Things? Will you be watching season 5 of Stranger Things? I think that's the poll there. And is that kind of correlated with, I watched another killer documentary last night, just working on some things, some cool things coming for you guys. Maybe by next week, we'll get that. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Ramin. Ramin will be saying yes, if Ramin said yes. I'm going to put in yes as well, too. No, never heard of it, says MF Dangerous. But yeah, let's get over to the question in the market, right? I mean, we're just having a fun day. I'm glad Katina Man's back because I wanted to give him a Katina Man. Yeah, check this out, brother. We're off the lows. IBIT. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Get out of here. Get that garbage out of here. I already hit it at least 5 or 6 times today. I was told, listen, he's still on Tesla. Listen, I was told I have a limit on how many times I can hit the Stone Cold per day, and I've already surpassed that. So, I mean, if you're going to do something, you may as well do it to the fullest, and I'm just going to continuously hit it. No, I'm obviously being sarcastic. There's no limit on how many times I can hit the Stone Cold per day. But what is the options market telling us today with the SPY? Where are some potential levels? I mean, there's nothing from a resistance zone here, guys. Lots of volume and concentration through 680 to 683, so that can be noted. But, I mean, there's a lot of room to just continuously roam higher and higher. So, hey, it is what it is. There's no levels that say this is going to be our ceiling or this is going to be our floor or anything right now. So just continuously grinding higher and higher. It gets so high. So high, whatever song that is. 130, that's on Robinhood, so this could be in the works. I like our chances as we're trading around 127. That's going to be coming at the Friday expiration cycle, so there it is. 1965 kid says boring market. I don't know if you're a kid still, if you were born in 1965, but hey, we'll give that one to you. But to each their own, man. It's all about the mentality. You can stay as young as you would like, forever young. I want to be. Wow. Okay.
I love that song.
You like that song? You like that song?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Would I take a look at IREN? For sure. Absolutely. Without any question. Without further ado, I bring to you IREN to see what we got going on. A nice V-shaped reversal off of the lows as well, too, guys. So, I mean, we can have fun with it. Joe does what Joey needs to do. Exactly, Jay Keone. That's all I try to do, man. Just the guy just out here trying to make it. Yeah. I'm $1 million baby. You know that song?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not coming to mind. But
yeah, he was like a one-hit wonder there. Shout out to I think it's Tommy Richmond or whatever his name is. But as for IREN, off of these lows, 46.06, nice bounce up to $48, continuing to climb higher. Let's see what we got on the daily. Nice bounce, man. There's a lot of these prints across the board here. So yeah, okay, let's read this before I read it out loud, because it does seem that it's not appropriate for the chat. Let's see it. Keep telling yourself you're young. That is mental. That's still young. Anyone who wants to work out so happily is young, probably. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm going to have to hide that. You did kind of bleed some things out, so I'll leave that up to the Trader TV crew to leave that in there. I don't know if anybody else can read that, but aside from that, guys, I got nothing going on. Robinhood still climbing higher up to 127.30. Bitcoin still putting in a new high of the day at 51.05. Palantir as well. What do you got your eyes? You got Palantir. What do you got your eyes on, Obi?
I mean, Hood, man. Hood is continuing to blast to the upside here. And I think great reasons to buy here underneath that 125. And when that bid came in aggressively, I mean, if you guys were hearing me talk under my breath, I was just like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. As I was attempting to kind of get back into the short. But when I'm saying that, I'm just like, okay, well, I know that the probabilities are starting to stack significantly against me on that kind of price action when we reclaim the 25 halves. Again, great reason to sell when we can't hold that half, but if we reclaim it with that kind of aggression, then, you know, definitely great reasons to buy, and that's what I did with the short position I was in, but that gives you 125 halves all the way to 127s, and now 127 halves on Hood, giving us a nice continuation. VWAP holds as well on the day, so the long is definitely not wrong, but I did effectively get involved with the counter trades on the way up. So you can see here, getting involved with whenever the sellers do actually distinctly show up, and being as nimble as possible on the way out as well. So let me know what you guys are trading. Apple, same trend as yesterday, saying rogue outlaw. Okay, cool. Let's take a quick look at Apple. Is that going to sell off a little bit? What do you mean by same thing as yesterday? Let's take a quick look at what yesterday's action was. Yeah, maybe the same thing as yesterday, but you can see some consolidation and holding some closing prices of yesterday as well. So yeah, sideways chop, no real kind of direction other than this strong push off of 277s all the way to the day's highs there at 279.53s. But since then, we've been kind of chopping around sideways there on Apple. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Tesla, end of day 429s, maybe. Yeah, that would be great. I was actually looking for a Tesla 430 break right off of the open, and that didn't really come in. Sellers step right in off of the open, and I was like, all right, cool. Where's the next trade? That's not what I'm looking for here on the day today. And beautiful sellers on VWAP dominant until they're not anymore. And we've started to get a little bit of a curl here going into the later half of the midday session. Dixie, okay, all right. Let's take a look at the DXY here and see what that's up to. I'm just going to go straight up to a higher time frame, and we'll go to check it on a weekly here. So okay, so that's looking interesting. A little bit of a red week coming in here on the Dixie, just kind of still around this 100 mark on the DXY. This was a little bit of an interesting move there. We're sustaining below some of these levels as of right now. So interesting stuff on the Dixie. Duolingo. Okay, see what this is doing here. Okay, I don't want to look at the weekly, but interestingly enough, this week pretty strong first green week after multiples of red here on Duolingo. Let's see if that strength is showing up here on the intraday today. Okay, all right, so we definitely is absolute strength, 180 all the way to 190s for almost above a 6% push here on the day on Duolingo. That's definitely speaking the language of longs on a day like today. So market tailwinds definitely on your side, and this consolidation at range highs here as well, holding that 188, pretty distinct. So good stuff on Duolingo. 1965 kid asking, has CoreWeave finally found a bottom? Maybe. I mean, the swing short on this, I'm telling you guys, it's been absolutely solid. This one in Circle, let's see. Okay, cool. Has it made a bottom? The question I asked is, when is the swing short actually over, right? It's like that's going to be a big indicator for me. But I think just like Circle, I like this back to open. Don't know if it's going to get there because we're holding some of these. This is a weekly. This is the second week's range high. Some strong volume on the second week of trading as well on CoreWeave, and that kind of gave us that liquidity trap that pushed us past that 64 for a rip up into 187s on a multi-day. So definitely people positioning in short on the second week, and then a breakout a few weeks later, and absolute acceleration with increasing volume. But when that capitulates and kind of starts to turn, this is definitely a backside of the move. Have we found a temporary bottom? I don't know. We're holding this this kind of a range high here is what I'm seeing as of right now. But still, with 2 days left in the trading week, these candles have started to slow down a little bit. You can see 2 strong weeks of selling. A little bit of a muted week last week, and this week as well, maybe a little mute as well. So the question becomes, are we going to be bouncing? That's one iteration. Are we going to be consolidation leg through the lows? That's also another iteration. Or do we just kind of chop around in here? I have no idea. But I don't know too much about a CoreWeave bottom. It's very much in this downtrend after making a top at 187 all-time highs, currently trading at 74s. And if you want to kind of reference the space here, Circle was another IPO that now beautifully kind of coming right back into the opening prices. So still holding up as of right now, but in the coming weeks, I'll definitely be watching to potentially take some inventory into the underwriter prices, which is around $30. So looking for those underwriters to potentially defend and be more interested in those prices rather than this 69 open on Circle. So that's kind of what I'm watching here. Mara needs to push. Palantir saying, hangry wife. Okay, let's take a quick look. On PLTR on the intraday. Okay, some strength pushing high of days here, 186s, but it took forever, man. It took forever. 164 holds and a nice slow grind up through the high of day and holding. Look at that, nice little pullback. That resistance turned into support right here, and then a nice continuation off of 167s to 168s. I see that your IBIT is continuing to push higher.
Yeah, it's going higher there, Obi, like 5120. I mean, for those, so I think Robo in the chat, someone mentioned, Joe, he's like, yeah, Roboro. Oh, something coming into the market. Something coming into the market here, guys. Big volatility spike to the downside. Obi gets up, gets it, and then sure enough, there is something. Gonna wait for Adara to bring us that news. Whatever it is, Rookie Trader, you said you hoped and prayed that Donald Trump didn't open his mouth today, but something just came in right here. 614 volume starting to step in. We haven't heard anything from Adara, so if you want to rate on today's parade, sure enough.
They're waiting for me to get up, bro.
Yeah, they literally waited.
I literally got up. I was like, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and then boom, I had to sit right back down again. No time for that.
You're gonna have to hold it. All right, let's go over to Adara. We're going to hear something on what has happened to the market here. Big time volatility spike.
This is actually a stock-specific story, guys, and the stock is Alibaba. BABA dropping sharply on reports that the Pentagon said that Alibaba should be on the list of companies with Chinese military ties. So BABA dropping sharply here again. Pentagon saying that Alibaba should be on the list for Chinese military ties as per a report. Back to you.
Pentagon, someone had to rain on the parade, so there it is. Come on, son. So yeah, I mean, hey, listen, we're going to recover. I think we could recover off this. It's not regarding some of the other names. I think that's really important to note. SMH, I know, Rookie Trader. Hey, man, we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, there it goes. Thanks the market. So something came in. We just didn't know what it was. But yeah, we can't complain. We'll talk a little bit more about that Roboro and whoever and someone else mentioned. I mean, we've just been churning shares throughout the day. Entry number 1 on IBIT. We take a small bit off. We do get stopped out the majority right here at the break even. We hop right back in, piece some more out, comes back to our break even. So I'm just like, all right, let's try to stay cool and see if we're going to find a move here. Try it again, comes back against me. Try it again. But this is, I didn't take a single loss on this trade. You can see I'm slightly ahead of myself. Boom, boom. And then I'm like, all right, let's see. This could be the move. Lots of indecision prints and buying pressure. We take some more off. Get stopped out, break even for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time. And I'm surprised that I didn't get extremely frustrated. That wasn't the case. But you know what they say, the 6th time's a charm. I don't know if they say that at all. I think it's the 3rd time. At the end of the day, I'm obviously just being slightly sarcastic, but that one ended up working pretty well for us. But that volatility spike in the market, the momentum can be clearly to the downside as Bitcoin is going oppo. IBIT did not care, so the buy program is most definitely in on this today. Tesla's starting to come back in. How did this affect NVDA as it wasn't really participating on the upticks in the market? And here it is. This is what we got on the board here, guys. The trusty board. Excuse me. I'm still kind of sipping on this espresso. So yeah, Q's going higher, climbing higher up to 616, coming in on that volatility spike. SPY coming into the volume weighted average price on that volatility spike. Bitcoin says what volatility spike and what news coming out of the Pentagon. We're going this way. You guys can go that way. And then Tesla again starting to come in a little bit here, guys. But the crypto names, Robinhood's just like, I don't even really know what you guys are talking about at this point. So we're just going to do our own thing over here in La La Land and continue to grind higher. And I have no complaints about that, so we'll hit the bang a couple of times there. Options activity, I bet you there's going to be a little spike, so we'll head over and take a look at the Qs here and see how that activity's been looking for today, and it can tell us a lot. So loading, and 0 DTE, guys, they're going to be expiring today. Volume high, open interest relatively low. So you can see the concentration between 615 and 617. You got the 129,000 contracts open and close, 223, 290,000. So a lot of activity going on. We'll head back over to the SPY and see what we got cooking on that front. See if there's anything that has came in the last couple of minutes. 12,500 at 681. Let's see how we react around those specific levels. And what's the high of the day? I don't even know if it's going to be worth writing those. 681 is the high of the day. So you will collect. You want to go a couple strikes higher, but you can see that your premium that you're going to be collecting is cut in half, going $1 higher, which is never too good. Any good suggestions for hood call options? I don't know. I think if you're looking to go that route, let's pull it up here. You want to go leaps at this point. Again, I have a good cost basis, so I'm comfortable with averaging up here. I don't know if it's a good idea to buy, but if you really want to get involved with the name, it's CSPs at specific levels. So you can collect a little bit of cash on the side, waiting for price to come into your level. But let's set up the leap right now, and that's going to be expiring approximately a year from now. They only give us they don't give us November. So let's go to December 18, 2026. And let's look at some CSPs to see what you can potentially collect in the meantime. So if you want Robinhood down here at $100, you get to collect $1,700. If it doesn't come down there within a year, obviously that's quite a ways away to collect $1,700. But you can collect the premium just sitting on your hands, waiting and waiting. But here it is. The market's starting to recover, Obi. Not too bad whatsoever. Hood high of the day, IBIT high of the day, Palantir high of the day.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting and watching here. I did get it involved with the short, but we are reverting this move pretty decently. And again, 155s, 156s. 155 was that what do you call range low from the earnings reaction. So I'm keeping it light here. I know I got to give it some room with the way it's moving around. Sometimes wiping 50 pennies to $1 here on BABA. Let's see what we do in and around these this 55 level. VWAP coming in at 157.70. So yeah, that's a little bit of a ways away. Just $1, I guess $1 away. Is that 157.70? $1.70 away right now on BABA as we catch a little bit of a reversion. Hood kind of pushing up as well as of right now. So it seems like this market is just kind of absorbing this news on BABA, and we're getting a reversion back towards VWAP. But I'm looking for a potential continuation for sellers to step back in as this news gets digested around the world. But you know, that could also not be the case as well. I'm looking for that market continuation as well here, and just giving it a wider range and letting it kind of potentially work from you. That 155 interesting for me as well. If you kind of look back at earnings, which was not many days ago, that earnings reaction low is right on that 55 mark. So maybe some interesting levels here. I'm curious to know whether or not that support on earnings day turns into a little bit of resistance, or is this news absolutely nothing and we just revert right back to where we were trading at by the end of the day? No idea, but a little bit of a wrench thrown into the works here once again on Baba. What do you got?
Yeah. Good look there, man. Wow, look at this. Look at Bitcoin go now, up 3.5%. IBIT, that is, so maybe a little bit more in BTC. This thing is rocking and rolling. You can't complain whatsoever. We're out at 51. You're now about 30 cents higher than where we took our last out. I didn't think I was going to catch the top, but yeah, man, what a phenomenal move that we're experiencing. And I mean, if we break it down, it was aggressive selling, and I understand that people get fearful. Everybody was like, oh no, what's going on, including myself. I'm like, I need to reduce a little bit of exposure in this and rotate into some other things. Whoa, we can't show you what we got going on here on BTC. It's our algo right there. It's the algo. So there, obviously joking, but there it is, guys, a big time recovery. I think there's a couple of trend lines that we're going to have to breach. And this is what I was talking about. I believe it was on Monday morning when Michael Noss was on with us. He's like, yeah, there might be a bottom and a couple other solid points. But what I was looking at here was just the volume profile to see, obviously not volume by price, this is volume by time. And essentially what we got going on is I'm like, hey, this is the largest volume print at an extreme low, or in general, since which we experienced. It was literally a year to date. So November 20th, 2024, and this is November 20th, 2025. Or no, it might have been the 21st. So within a day, you have two of the largest spikes on BTC within volume in a year span. And I'm like, this needs to be noted. Like, if we're looking at volume and using it as a gauge, well, we have to listen to some of the whispers it's telling us. And I don't even know if this is a whisper. This might be just like throwing something in your face and being like, hey, pay attention to what I'm doing, considering that at that from peak to trough there, we're down 36%, right? Like that's not fun. That's not a good time to sit through that. And I get it. You're only 12% off of those lows, but it's better than nothing and continuing to bleed. November 21st was the largest volume print that IBIT put in since inception. So, I mean, like, there it is. There's nothing that's even relatively close from a volume standpoint aside from this level right here. From November 21st, 2025, it's the largest print it's ever seen. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? What do? I have short calls on it. I buy those back, collect whatever premium, and then now I'm just allowing my long calls to just roam freely. Now, is that a risk? Absolutely. I think every time you step into the market, you have to be willing and understanding that you may be wrong. But sure enough, I'm like, I like from a probability standpoint of just putting everything in my favor and just going ahead and listening to what price action is telling me, because I think at the end of the day, price is king, Obi.
Oh yeah, price action is definitely king. That's why I kind of talk about that all the time. And yeah, a lot of my trading is just I would say is based off of price action mechanics, right? It's just like, all right, cool. How is structure building? How is structure breaking? And it seems like structure might be reverting here on BABA as we kind of find some maybe potential acceptance here above 155. So 156s, 157s coming in. VWAP's at 157.60s. I definitely might be a little bit early on this one here, but we're just reverting the move now on BABA. Those sellers not really stepping back in, but yeah, maybe that was a little too hard, too fast in retrospect. And when I'm running back to the desk, maybe not the best mental as well, kind of rushing into something that I wasn't necessarily sitting here for. Here's 157s coming in as of right now. Wow, those buyers are coming in real aggressive as of right now. That IBIT is still pushing, or what? I think this market is pulling back in.
Yeah, it's
is a little distinctly different now. So the shorts potentially here working on, okay, I guess Amazon had a nice little dump into, or through VWAP there on that. Nvidia still holding its VWAP, surprisingly enough. Didn't really have a strong reaction on that, interesting. Yeah, let me know in the chat, what are you guys trading? Did you guys get involved with anything there on the flush off of that news there? More than willing to kind of check out some of these names and yeah, we'll see. 156, 50s, a little bit of selling coming in, but being patient, waiting and watching, right? We came all the way up into VWAP. We're getting spikes into VWAP and some strong selling as well. So price acceptance is what I'm seeing here. 55, 155 is going to be interesting for me. And why is that, you may ask? Here, let me just pull up the chart and show you guys here on BABA. So right here, nice little strong wiki action there on the news, breaking below prior day's lows and earnings reaction low here as well. Today is earnings day 2 on BABA, and we are seeing, I guess, more of the same. Strong sellers yesterday, and then through those lows, strong sellers coming in once again. Sure, a little catalyst driven, but I feel like sometimes, you know, volume and it's just looking for something to, like volume to get in. Participants are looking for volume to get into positions as well. So it seems like more of the same on that volume spike with strong sellers stepping right into the book on BABA. Market recovered pretty well off of that.
Yeah, it did, man. I mean, like, what's BABA up to? Let's see if we pull up my chart. I don't even know why it doesn't want to load it now. Thanks, good stuff on that one. Oh, there it is. All right, yeah, I mean, you had the volume spike down. Obi was just talking about this. You come back and retest the intraday lows around 157.07, and then now you're starting to reject that a little bit right now too. So not too bad of a look. Are you seeing the reaction on SoFi? They have the same bank and founders, I guess. Yeah, let's take a look at SoFi and see what we got going on. I mean, it's not really doing too much right now. I shouldn't say that. Look how it's just continuously grinding higher here. So not too bad of a look on SoFi. How's the daily looking? I think that's really important too, so we can just correlate multiple things together. Yeah, I mean, whew. All right, so 24 up to 29 off of this, right below a key neckline, indecision print, off to the races. So yeah, some beautiful stuff on that front. Yeah, other than that, I was thinking, like, do I take a small short? Like, just because, right? I have a little bit of risk to play with. This could be a potential signal here on, what do you got? You're still in Tesla, Katina man?
Okay.
Let's see it, brother. Head over, actually, I don't know, we'll wait for that one. If we want, he'll let me know. He'll let me know. So yeah, shout out to Diamond Hand, Katina man. But yeah, Robinhood, phenomenal stuff, up to 130. We talked about 130 being potentially in the works. And sure enough, we're only a couple points away from that at this point. So yeah, a solid look across the board. It's a nice grinding, but Friday is going to be a totally different picture, guys. You have to keep that in mind. I'm still going to look for signals of strength. Hopefully Bitcoin leading into the Asian markets can continue its trajectory. And then also Friday morning, it feels like a Friday today, but Friday morning, that'd be nice if we can participate and go on a nice little 3% run once again. So yay, give us a dip, says Roger. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. If there's anything that you guys want to, I know Obi and I are going to save our 30-second trade review for a little bit later. I've traded 2 names on today, 1,400 total shares. I mean, not too bad whatsoever. But there it is. Oh, Robinhood starting to come in. So off of that inverted hammer candle right at the highs, someone said introverted hammer candle, which that kind of made me giggle a little bit. But 127.84 gives you $1 as quick as you would like, Obi, at that extreme high. So not too bad of a look whatsoever. How's your BABA going?
I mean, it's going. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to work with it here. It pretty much got to VWAP. We're holding here. 155s potentially coming back in here, but I'm watching it pretty closely. Let's see if we can kind of come back into those 155s, right? A little bit of level of interest. We basically covered those prices really, really quickly, I guess, in a very illiquid way, and we've balanced that action over a 50% pullback there. So shout out to anybody who took that reversion. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, my arrows should be the opposite color here, but you know, it is what it is. I'm looking for that continuation. News is, like I said, news takes time to disseminate around the world, and I do want to kind of participate in potential continuation there, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to come in. We're holding VWAP right now. I did throw up an anchored VWAP to the event, and I guess we kind of held that as well. That's coming that's coming in at 154.80, so about $1 lower here as of right now. So I guess my average is sitting just in and around that anchored VWAP for now. So we'll wait and see if there's continuation. Pretty negative news, I would say, when it comes to something like a Baba, but you know. I don't think. Here's the thing. There's fears of that. There can be. There was fears of ADR delistings as well a few years ago. Right. Nothing ever really come out of that. Yeah. Not that long ago either. But something that again, you know, just got digested and eaten up. Let's see if this is going to be more of the same. But on the intraday, let's see if sellers stay dominant. That's pretty decent news in terms of a graded catalyst. But we'll see if the price action is going to follow through here at the same time. 155 halves. Can you break the half and print the quarter? And maybe we can go down to the whole at 155s. This market, though, is attempting to push right back up as well. Don't forget, earnings day 2 on Baba and a bit of continuation off of that catalyst there. Question now I'm asking is that all the selling? Was that too far too fast in terms of the daily? I don't know. Catalyst definitely changes up some things. Like I said, throwing a wrench in the works on earnings day 2 on something like Baba. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we were just looking at Baba right there. What's it up to now? I'm going to take my eyes on. Oh, there it is. Starting to come back in there. OB, so not too bad of a look for you. The momentum starting to cool off to the top side, coming back in. Tesla. I wonder who's in Tesla. I don't know anybody who's in Tesla right now, that's for sure. No, not Katina, man. 5, 5, 6. Yeah, so, 6. Oh, okay, I get it. 6, 7. But no, there it is, guys. A new high of the day on IBIT, up 3.5% now. A phenomenal look there, guys. All right, yeah. Guys, we never did this yet. Yesterday, I got you guys on a little bit of a trickery saying, hey, what stock would you like to see rally leading into the Thanksgiving and into the Christmas rally? And you all voted. Enough of the tomfoolery and see what you guys want to talk about on the afternoon rundown. I already know what I vote this every time, and it very rarely makes the board back there. It almost never. I've seen it on there once, which I'm extremely surprised. My positions tell us long Tesla 1403. I'm listening. Is there more, Katina Man? There's more. We're waiting for it. Much anticipated. Long Tesla 1403. Long Apple 278.30. Is there more, my friend?
Tesla's headed for opening range high.
Is there more? N. Okay, N. That's VN. ZN.
VN.
But no, in all seriousness, guys, this is a solid rally here today. This might have been enough liquidity to be absorbed for the Qs in the SPY to put in a new high of the day. You have that flush to the downside, and then now you have that steady grind higher. Ethereum up there as well, but Bitcoin definitely the stronger one, in my opinion, I guess. We can take a look at it from a percentage metric to see what we're up on ETH. It's a little bit lesser valued, so maybe it's higher, but we got 3.5 on IBIT. What do we got on ETHA? Okay. 3.8. All right, so from a percentage metric, doing a little bit better, so not too bad. BMNR says the Jameson, anything for you, my boy, and see what we got going on. 3102, so that's a good look. As soon as we get the green light, we're going to get some news from Madeira. Talk to us.
Yeah, keep an eye on Baidu, because I didn't realize this until just now, but it looks like Baidu is also on said Pentagon list. I'm just seeing this again. Pentagon apparently concluding that Alibaba, Baidu, and BYD should be added to a list of companies that aid the Chinese military. This is just on X. I haven't seen any attribution for this, so it's unclear who said it or when exactly it was said. But either way here, Pentagon apparently adding or deciding that Alibaba and Baidu and BYD should be added to this list. So BIDU also on watch now. Back to you.
Okay, some confluence moves in the whole space. I like that. yeah, definitely some other ADRs might be a place to look for some potential opportunity, and some potential opportunity continuing here on Hood. 128s now, man. So we reclaimed 127s, we pushed up into 128s, now we're holding 128s. So yeah, the market's taken this this MIAX news really, really well here on Robinhood. Don't know what the short float is right off the top of but you know, I'm just going to be you know what? Let's just look. I think it's above 10% here. Let me just check what the short float here is on Hood. Hood, if you can have me a Hood. What is your current short float? What I hate about short floats, man, is they're always like 2 or 3 weeks delayed. So then you got to use a little bit of discretion to figure out whether or not that float is over or under relative to recent price action and volume that's been done. But whatever. Short float, 6%. All right, cool, interesting. 6% short float on a float of 760 mil, almost 760 mil. So yeah, a little bit of a grinding bid on a good news day like today. Good stuff. I like that bit of a push on that confluence with that short float. Sure, it's not 10, 15, 20%, but an okay chunk to say the least. But yeah, Baba, let's see if we can come back in here. Mag 7, yeah, Tesla, man, great stock selection on Tesla. That's the only one here that is showing absolute relative strength, attempting to push back up into its opening range highs on Tesla. So yeah, are you guys trading this Baba? I'm curious, did anyone take any sort of fills on Baba or any sort of ADRs? ATRs, nice. ADRs on the day today. Let me know. BYND saying mint Cornetto. Okay, BYND. Let's take a quick look at that one here before I pass it back to Joe. BYND. That's a beyond me here. Okay, some strength here. Wow, dollar push on BYND. Wow, I can't believe I missed this. A dollar test, and look at that beautiful reversion here of back through the dollar. You can risk about 3 pennies and it gives you over 9. So yeah, definitely something worth watching. Was it doing relative volume? Absolutely. We're doing about over 2 times relative volume as of right now on BYND. So great look there, guys. What do you got going on?
Yeah, I just figured I'd take a little bit of a short here on NVDA. It pains me sometimes to take it, but there it goes, a nice little move to the downside. Why am I going short NVDA, you may ask? Let's see what we can cook up, man. There's a neckline here, a key support level that we're heading towards. We head higher, failed to establish a new high right here. So if we can crack that neckline, I think there's going to be a little bit more downward momentum on the day, considering it hasn't really been participating throughout this whole rally. So I'm not going to complain. There it goes, a nice little pop there. Obi, we're not going to complain about that whatsoever. So go NVDA, go. To the old downski. There it is, man. I don't have much size on this whatsoever, so I'm happy to just kind of slowly scalp it out as we head towards some key support levels. 180 would be ideal, so that might be in the works for today. And there it is. So the momentum really starting to pick up there, guys, as we flush. I shouldn't say flush. I think that's a little bit of a strong term considering. But the thing is, I find it. I don't know how you feel, Obi. But like it really is mentally taxing sometimes shorting NVDA. That's why I try to avoid it sometimes, just because it's so strong and everything just gets bid back up. Like you crack through, you head right towards that support level, and then it just gets bought right back up after multiple occasions. But Adair, what do you have?
I have some more details on the Alibaba Baidu story. So as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't really sure where this was coming from. Well, now we know. Bloomberg reported this, citing an October 7th letter here. Pentagon telling the Congress back on October 7th, it sounds like, that in their opinion, they believe that Alibaba, Baidu, and then a whole bunch of other companies as well should be added to the 1268 list of Chinese military companies. There's over 130 names on that list already, and this is supposed to be viewed as a red flag for U.S. investors. So again, this is going back to over a month ago, as reported by Bloomberg. The Pentagon says to Congress, hey, we'd like to add these names to the list. Back to you.
Very much. I mean, there it is, guys. We just slowly piece some out there on NVDA as it's continuing to bleed its own blood, guys. 180.11, a nice little move to the downside there. Let's see if we can crack it. Bounces right back up. I have no issues with getting out break even whatsoever on this name, but a nice move on the support level. Let's see if it can snap. We'll hold a little bit on here until otherwise. This is the thing, my risk to reward ratio is horrible. You have to give it $1 or it's a VWAP. I feel like this name can just wick you out, but there goes NVDA, vertical blocking, vertical limit, for those who know that movie, Vertical Limit.
Oh yeah, you know, why does that sound so familiar? I think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's
I remember watching
Vertical Limit.
Yeah,
it
rings a bell. You know what? If I see the cover, if I see the cover,
Vertical Limit, man. Shout out to that climbing. Baba is a good buy.
Yeah, this is really old.
Yeah, mad old. Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll take that one there. One of my favorite movies says Nazir.
Nice.
Oh, we got an ad read. Absolutely, Assassino. Only if we hit 180.10s here in NVDA. No, I'm only joking. Talk to us.
All right, traders, listen up. First month is free. That's right. We are waiving fees so you can trade smarter and not harder. So upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, and capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. Right, guys. This market's taking a little bit of a pullback. So yeah, we had that first red candle. This seems like forever ago, but that happened around 11:45. That candle, first red candle, that signaled the dissipation of the bid, and now we're getting confirmation, continuation, whatever you want to call it. This is what I mean. I was like, this is a flag, right? And when a lot of people look at flags, they might be thinking continuation. But that's not always the case, right? We talk about chart patterns being absolutely random, even though the pattern itself shows up in multiple scenarios. So you really got to ask, what do those patterns actually mean? What kind of participation is happening in them? And what happens if that structure or that pattern breaks one way or another? That's kind of what I like to ask. So 128 didn't really come in. Trend breaking here on the hood. So you know what? I definitely want to get involved with a little bit of this here for now. You know what? I'll just set it and forget it on this one. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for here. I tried to scroll through prices, and it started scrolling through my sizing, and I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm looking for here on that. Let's see if this 155 can potentially break down here. We did get back down to 155s. Once again, to reiterate, 155 is a bit of an interesting level. That was the ping of price action, the little test on that earnings reaction just yesterday. Did it happen in the pre-market or after hours? Let's take a quick look and check to see that piece of information. What are we trading again? Oh yeah, Baba. Nice. Haha, that's why I don't care about the ticker. It's all about the price action. 155 still holding right here. Boom. This is what I mean. That low is 155, and that right there is more significant to me than a few other pieces of information, but a little bit of a balance here, pulling right back into that area of what I think is interest. 50% pullback of the 50% pullback. So the reversion of the reversion, we're just consolidating 155s right now. So we'll see. I'll wait and watch to see if there's any sort of distinct action off of this 155. We could bounce, we could hold, we could chop, we can churn. We can also sell off as well. But it seems like that reversion off of 150, look at how beautiful that was. 150 clean bounce all the way up to 157s on Baba. So shout out to anybody who was sitting there with a bid on 150s, because that came in real fast.
On Baba there. On Baba. Is it moving lower here now, Obi?
I mean, it's holding the anchored for now. Okay. Anchored is now confluencing with 155, surprisingly enough. But we'll see if they can trade a little bit lower or whatever it does. We'll see. We'll wait and see. This hood is pulling back in. This 127, I guess, break was nice. 128 break was a little lackluster, so a little back through some of these levels. I like this this 127 short earlier as well. It's where sellers step in. Let's see if we can kind of get that confluenced push back down with the break of this trend. VWAPs just in and around 125s, and again, 125s. I like that. Let's see if we can revert.
Wow, what a downtick on NVDA there, Obi. I don't know what's going on here, as the momentum is most definitely, wow.
Most def.
Oh, wow, okay. That was quick. A big time move. And I was just saying, this thing is tough it's tough to short, but a nice volume spike to the downside in NVDA. So let's see if this move can be sustained here, guys. Catch a fill, says MF dangerous. I mean, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some more votes on the poll here. I mean, it wasn't the best Thanksgiving poll. Unfortunately, I couldn't really come up with anything other than which part of the turkey you're going for. But we don't know how acceptable is white meat or the dark meat. But I
mean, here's what are you most thankful for, and then we can have.
That's the thing. But that's
right?
okay. Yeah.
So, like, there's so many options.
That's very much true.
Say
right.
Family,
very much
life,
true. Family,
opportunity,
resources,
life,
more life. Yeah, no, I mean, family probably going to be at the top of the list. Friends, not everybody has them.
Whoa.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. As you get older, you lose you don't really have as many friends. I think that's true. That's right. You know what I mean? Health, health is the most important one, because without that, everything else is irrelevant. As our friend, or our good friend, our old friend, Steve Jobs said, he said, I have all this money, but I can't do anything with it because I am terminally ill, which is, again, we don't want to get too that dark, but yeah, health is wealth, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It is absolutely everything. And I told you guys, man, when I was going through like extreme headaches, I'm like, the quality of life is garbage. So I'm glad that it's not as bad as it used to be. But there it goes on NVDA, a nice crack through some key support levels. Let's see if this move can be sustained. SMR green, yeah, what's that up to? Yesterday we were trading that. I'm like, you know what? I know this. Oh, okay. I seen that it had some aggressive flushes not too long after the open, and I was glad that I wasn't trading it necessarily. So there it goes, new scale power starting to climb a little bit higher, which isn't horrible whatsoever. But now I want to take it because we have that Alibaba news. I know Obi's in it as well too. I want to see where we're going. Bloody thing buys right back up, eh? So there it is, a hammer candle off of those lows right at 155. And then now going oppo, so a little bit of buying pressure within that one there. But I mean, hey, we're not going to complain. We got 18 minutes left. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all you guys are my friends. Everyone are friends, man. I'm not that sad, Majid.
Yeah, people taking offense.
Majid, yeah, no, don't take any offense. Why would you take offense of that? Hey, man, you got to think about it. Some of the most apex predators are solitary. You know what I mean? Like a tiger. Tigers are pretty solitary. Jaguars, right? If you want to be a jaguar, you could be solitary there. I'm pretty sure bears, right? Grizzly bears, relatively solitary animals. So hey, you want to be that dog. You're gonna have to do it on your own, man. Sometimes.
Except for dogs, though. Dogs travel in packs.
Yeah, exactly. Dogs are pack animals. Yep, absolutely.
I've always wanted a wolf, but I don't know if that's such a great idea.
You always want to be a wolf?
No, I said I've always wanted a wolf.
Well, you could what is the word?
You can try to domesticate them.
Yeah, domesticate it.
At the end of the day, it is a pure wild animal.
Lone wolf.
So you just.
Dude, have you seen? So
there's some dudes that actually go with the packs because they basically are the alpha.
They grew up with them. Yeah. So
or they respect the alpha.
I knew this guy who had half wolf, half husky. The thing was so big. I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah, dude.
How big it was. It was monstrous. So shout out to the dire wolf, to all the Game of Thrones fans. There it is on NVDA, guys, continuing to move a little bit lower. So what were we in at there? 180.33s. We get down to 179.80s roughly. So not too bad of a look to the downside. Just playing the break of support levels. So yeah, sports and stocks. You're in trouble, man. You're in trouble. Jojo, you got one right. Thank you. Short Tesla, one. My friend, it's all right, I'm not going to take any offense to that. But no, in all seriousness, there it is to the downside. NVDA moving a little bit lower, and some of the markets starting to come back in as well too, as the Qs in the Qs in the SPY head towards the volume-weighted average price. We're now 40 cents off of the highs on IBIT, a little bit more than that, a couple points. 128.22 down to 127. You're short 127.30, so you got 30 cents right there on Robinhood. There, Obi, why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean it's coming in a little bit here. The market tailwind definitely on our side as we break the structure. We talk about that bid dissipating and sellers starting to step in. It seems like this is a bit of a follow through here of that. Sure, we had a little bit of a catalyst there, but follow through nonetheless. So again, that's why I always go price action is king. And you know, tinfoil suit, tinfoil hat. Sometimes I feel like there are participants just waiting for volume to come in for, you know, entry or exit liquidity as well, right? It's a market. Things need to be marketed and positions need to be positioned. So you know, it's always an interesting way to see how price action pans out. You know, but 127 is coming back here on Hood. Like I said before, VWAP's all the way down at 125s. Don't know if we're going to get all the way down there. 155s did do a little bit of a bounce here on BABA, but we're still kind of chopping around 156s, 155s right now, so we're going to keep an eye on it. Market may be looking for a little bit of a bid. We got 13 and a half minutes roughly left on this 15-minute candle, so still a lot of action to finish, kind of printing that there as well. Let's see. What does that mean? Price action is king. Means no sense to me. I don't know, saying Martinez.
Who said that? Who said that?
Cool. Martinez in the chat. All right, so price action. What is price action? Price action is kind of like the action of price. What the story that's being told. What have we done? We kind of consolidate here. For example, we can go through the price action here on Hood. Off of the open, strong opening drive, so buyers are definitely there. And then you can see the price action starts to slow down, the buyers start to dissipate, and then we crack this structure, which is a little bit lower. So these are all kind of facets, in my opinion, of price action. I know I'm kind of butchering it, not really doing it justice in terms of defining it. But if you want to know more about price action trading, I would suggest you take a look at Al Brooks. We know Jose talks about Al Brooks a lot, but he has some absolutely solid textbooks, literally textbooks on trading price action, and he definitely delves into the nitty-gritty of price action trading and what that actually means. But at the end of the day, all it means is I'm following the order flow, following the buyers and sellers, following kind of prior levels as well, where we're sellers, where we're buyers, how did we build structure on the day, how are we kind of dealing with that action as well. So hopefully I did some sort of justice there. I know I'm butchering it a little bit there, but that's kind of my definition of what it means in terms of price action. Yeah. So
I don't know. He said, no, I want to know what the meaning is. Price action king.
Okay, price action is king. So it's like you can. So what I mean by that is like you can trade off of fundamentals. You can trade off of catalysts. You can trade off of this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, the price action and the like it's the action of price and maybe the volume as well speaks for itself. Yeah, right. Exactly. Because participants. They portray their intention by participating in the market. You can see that intention in the price action. Is what I'm trying to say. And then use that as a reference to kind of be like, all right, let's make some decisions. This is how the probabilities stack based off of this price action. So,
for sure. Yeah. I mean, like you got to think about what every single indicator that you're probably using on your chart is derived from.
Yes.
Right. So what we mean by price action is king is when price shows you something, you best believe it, regardless of what your indicator is telling you, because most of them are lagging, right? Yes. They're not.
Okay, I can read off of a definition here. If you want the actual definition, just an AI overview here on Google. I just searched price action is king, and here's the definition. The phrase price action is king means that a trader's primary focus should be on the movements of a security's price, as it is the ultimate determinant of profit and loss. Price action traders believe price is the purest indicator, yes, that's me, and that all other information like news, indicators, is secondary to the actual price on the chart. This approach is adaptable across all markets and focuses on analyzing chart patterns and structure to make trading decisions. So that's what that means.
Cool, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I definitely butchered the definition, but that was much better. So thank you, I guess, Google AI for that there. Okay, so Joe, I think we got a super chat for you.
We do. Oh, do we? For me?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow. How nice. No, I'm on 50. I guess thank you. Thank you, Joe. I jumped in on IBIT with you. What a ride. Great call. Thank you. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work like that. We tell you guys, again, once again, it goes without saying, very much appreciated on the super chat. But mirror trading doesn't always work. I'm not always going to be right. And you don't know necessarily what I'm doing, what you can't see here, right? And we're always consistently fidgeting with their screens and our charts on the side, so you don't know. So just be cautious. I'm glad that you had a great time. That goes without saying. But I'm not always right. So, and I don't want you to have the inverse and get mad at me when you're like, Joe, you said this and that. But once again,
yeah, you got to trade your own trade at the end of the day.
You got to trade your own book at the end of the day. But we're gonna hit this for you. So Cap Mama, we love that. We're also gonna hit this for you. I told you guys I've hit my limit on hitting the stone cold, but if you're gonna do something, my grandma told me you may as well try to do it at your best, and I'm gonna hit it one more time right here. So there it is, man. So now you can walk in leading into your Thanksgiving women, Cap Mama, your Thanksgiving weekend, and just have an absolute blast knowing that you put on the proper trades. And that's what we want to do from a day-to-day standpoint. But as for NVDA, 184 was our entry. We're now out of that as it's coming back north of the volume-weighted average price, cutting that last little bit out at break even. We're not going to complain whatsoever about that move that we got at the crack of that neckline. There's no limit on Stone Cold, says Jay Rusty. Yeah, but see, that's not how it works out there. Joe is always long IBIT. I wouldn't say that. I short it sometimes, and I'm not always trading it. But it doesn't matter what I'm always trading, right? Like, I look at things because I know what I'm specifically looking for. So at the end of the day, even though we're all relayed the same information, we don't interpret it the same way.
Yes.
And I think that's important to know. And it's really, really just important to kind of write your own book at the end of the day. If that correlates for what we're looking at, I mean, we try to teach you guys ways of trading, whether it be Neil with his lesson of the day, Sharif, or Sean, myself, and Obi. But what you have to do is, I don't know how the saying goes, and I'll butcher it, but the smartest people takes bits of information from every single one and just kind of keep an open mind, which is important. And that's what we hope we can do for you guys, most importantly, right, is that we talk about it all the time. We all have very different trading styles, but if you take a piece from Neil, you take a piece from Sean, you take a piece from Sharif, you take a piece from Obi, and then you make your own playbook off of that, you can build wonders, right? And it's just the experiences that are going to help you refine. And everything is always so changing. So also keep that in mind as well too. So Neil price action off Alibaba was crazy today. Neil always tends to overshoot. The 78-cent break was the liquidity sleep. Neo, $6 puts. All right, let's pull up NIO. Excuse me. All right, so $6 puts. You're already ITM on those, so nice work, unless you just bought them ITM. But yeah, this thing's starting to come in drastically, guys, off of those highs. $8, almost to the penny, and then sure enough, you're down a little bit off of that, so around 35% or so, 33.7 to be exact. So that's not too bad whatsoever. 802, 531, breaking through key necklines. We were talking about them before. You do have some whipsaw moves, which is fine. But when you have these bases being formed and you crack through, there might be some more downside momentum. As for AMD, it's the exact same thing. We have that neckline drawn, broke to the downside, and then now we're starting to form a little bit of another one. But if you have to force it, it may not be there, Obi.
Yeah, for sure. Again, forcing the trades is never really never really a great turnout there. And it seems like, yeah, this BABA is definitely forming a little bit of wedging action, like Neil called out in the chat here. And yeah, a little bit of a wedge on top of the anchored VWAP here, and that's holding pretty well. That anchored VWAP, again, confluenced with this 55 hold. That's that consolidation low here. And we talk about price acceptance, maybe just kind of chopping and churning this 155, 156 area as of right now. It seems like this hood is still holding this 127 as of right now. So, you know what, I just kind of want to potentially take a look to get out of this one here as well. If we're just going to consolidate, the market did pull back pretty decently there, but we're holding up as of right now, and only about a couple hours left in the trading day. All right, so not too many 15-minute candles left to print here and give us some of these moves. But yeah, we'll see if that 127 can break back below and then trade a little bit lower into that 125. That 125 was interesting. Again, VWAP almost breaking above that 125. So maybe we find it a little bit more interesting when, I guess, the average participant is sitting in a long position above 125. That could make things a little bit interesting as well. Currently trading at 127. So Apple, wow. So Apple, remember I was like Apple potential reversion, and that was like 1145. That thing's been grinding so slowly to the downside, but working pretty well, to say the least. So interesting stuff there on Apple, as it gives us a bit of that reversion off of 279.50s in the morning. So interesting stuff there as well. Don't really have much else going on as of right now. Going to be continuing to watch BABA and Hood going into the end of the day. Amazon making a beeline for day lows right now, so it seems like that one, other than Google, is showing some relative weakness here as well. What's going on, Adara?
Rumble on the move here. Are you this one on watch here, as we have Financial Times reporting that Tether is now the largest independent holder of gold in the world. Only thing that holds more gold would be central banks. So again, largest independent holder of gold in the world is Tether. Now, why does this matter for Rumble? Because Tether does have a significant stake in RUM. Back to you.
Whenever you're ready there, I see him fire that up, no problem. You know, let's party on, brother. Your heart will beat 100 times today. And every beat is a data point. AIML, innovation, CSE, AIML, OTCQB, AIMLFF turns that data into potential life-saving insight and max yield. An AI engine that filters noise, labels each heartbeat with lab-grade precision, and shrinks ECG analysis from days to minutes. Their mission to revolutionize how heart disease is detected, monitored, and prevented. Learn more at AIML Health and follow at AIML_Innova on X, guys, on X. There goes Amazon to the downside. You were talking about Amazon not too long ago. Corv, I didn't love that print there. It's just not in the right place at the right time. And there it is. You're cracking through some necklines. I still think Amazon's a great buy at this point, considering we traded up to 215, came back down to 220, and now you're starting to get a little bit of a bounce. And that's what we were talking about. It's not going to be up and to the right all the time, but we do have a shelf being formed at 211 here. Big time move up into 260. Which is absolutely insane there in AMZN. So not too bad of a look. But we only got 3 minutes left, Obi. Okay. When it's 1:59, you know what we're going to do. We're going to do our three Joe heartbeat 100 times, 100,000 times, my friend, 100,000. We'll go over our 30-second trade review. How many names did you trade?
Something might be wrong if you're only beating 100 times.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Remember the first Saw?
I don't remember
Oh
watching.
my days.
I think I saw like Saw 3 or something. I don't know.
You've never seen the first Saw.
I don't.
That's crazy.
Actually, no. That's the one with the dude on the bicycle, right?
Yeah, you do. I mean,
on the tricycle.
Yeah. I mean,
I have seen the first.
The first one. I mean, I don't think you see him on that one. The first one is crazy because the guy.
It's where they're stuck in the bathroom.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And the whole time he's just watching what's going on, but he took some whatever to slow his heart rate down, so he looked dead on the floor. And then as soon as the guy cuts his leg off, exactly. And then whatever else happens in that, it's. Anyways, let's get back into the markets. Enough of my gibberish. Bitcoin climbing higher. Market slowly starting to recover back to the top side. There's the short on NVDA as we break through some key support levels. Looking for that break and hold of the neckline, but I mentioned that NVDA, you have to be really cautious. If you get some key momentum to the downside in it, start locking in some of that profit because the rebounds are most definitely in vogue with this name. So keep that in mind. We'll head over to the lower time frame and see what's going on. Our only loss of today was on TSLL on the first entry. Other than that, everything's been pretty good so far. This was the only wrong entry right there. Sure enough, we grab it at the base and we continue to climb over. Katina Man's been holding throughout the whole duration. All right, Obi.
Yes, sir.
It's 1:59.
Okay.
It's time for our 30-second trade review. Talk to us. Go.
All right, so Hood right off of the open, a bit of a reversion back down into VWAP, 125s kind of breakdown. We pull back into VWAP. That was pretty clean. Some other scalps here off of this slowdown in the same supply area. Some other scalps here off of a tape here. Just covered this one here as well. Just taking counter trend scalps here on Hood. Where is Google? Let's pull up Google here as well. So Google was the other one I traded this morning. Again, kind of similar, pulling up pretty aggressively, taking the reversion back down into the 320s. Didn't really participate after that. And of course, you guys are seeing me here with my BABA position. Out of the money right now. Don't know if it's going to work well or not, but kind of just waiting for this consolidation to kind of pan out and see what it'll bring us. Maybe more of the same, maybe not. Maybe we get a full-on reversion back to reference prices at 159, or we kind of pull back into this 155 consolidation low. No idea.
Bang, bang. 25 seconds on that one there, Obi. Boom. Good work, guys. So, all right, attempt number one on TSLL. Off of those lows, consolidation. Boom, we pop up into view up on TSLL. Nice move there. NVDA. NVDA. You got it. We get the short at the break of the neckline, moving a little bit lower. Now starting to recover. And then also, the trade of the day is going to be, for me personally, in IBIT. Not too bad of a move, just continuously churning shares. But that is going to conclude the midday leading into Thanksgiving weekend. Guys, I hope everyone's had